Okay, we are now live. Thanks everyone for waiting. We are here on the second session of our new campaign for Star Wars Edge of the Empire, Raiders of the Lost Jedi. And one of the things I wanted to do at the outset of this session, because it's something that we talked about, we kind of skipped over last time, so I do want to do it this time, is before we go any further and we get started, I want to go through very quick character introductions. And so what I'm going to do is just basically go through to the next slide here in my little slide deck. And I have everyone's characters here. And I would like, starting from the top, we'll start with the Luddite in the group. So just very quickly, for anything that we didn't catch last time that you want folks to know, and also just for for posterity. Ryan, who's your character? What does he do? What do you want us to know about him?
Well, okay, so there's good old Bobkin, and he's kind of lost in the galaxy. He was going to be a Jedi, and that didn't work out, and he became a petty crook, and that didn't really work out. So he's just trying to make his way in the world. He doesn't have much force power, but he's exploring it, and he's a bum.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but he hasn't technically admitted to anyone that he was a Padawan back in the day.
Oh God, no. He's very sneaky. No, he hasn't told anybody that. No. And in fact, the one guy keeps asking about that. No, he hasn't.
And will again, I suspect.
No. He has not admitted anything to anybody. No.
All right.
No.
So there you go.
He's a scoundrel. He's a scoundrel.
He's a scoundrel.
He's a nerf herder.
and all that entails.
Yeah.
So that is Bobkin Jabbo. And then so next up on our list is Lena Tyrell. So Veronica, tell us a little bit about Lena.
Lena might be like blissfully ignorant to the fact that Bobkin's just glommed on to cool, we'll come with these people. That's usually pretty blissfully ignorant. Lena just likes flying spaceships and meeting people and going places, and so she always wanted to be a pilot. She had a wanderlust from a small age, and she does miss her family. She likes being back on Alina, but she also just likes meeting the people out in the world. So she got a job as a pilot and took to it quite easily, which was a really easy way to get out there and see things and meet people. And while out there seeing things and meeting people, she doesn't totally she doesn't take the time to think about exactly how moral all of the things that they do are. As long as no one's getting like seriously hurt unless they start it, she's usually pretty okay with it. But out adventuring and exploring the world, she met Sorbo, who she really likes because he's nice and he feeds nuts to pit droids. So that's about as deep as their connection is. I like this guy. He's nice to people. He also shoots them with a really big gun, but we gloss over that.
They started it.
Yeah, right. See, if they started, it's okay.
All right. And there you go. So there is Lena. So next up would be the aforementioned Sorbo, self-appointed Gnome de Guerre, Sorbo the Great.
I mean, nobody else has to use that yet. The reputation's still being built.
All right.
But yeah, I think at this point, his home is whatever ship he and Lena are currently living on. She seems nice, and all sorts of interesting things happen when the two of them, go looking for work or anything else. At this point, life goals are to have to steal from Pratchett, to have so much money he has to hire two people, so much money in his pockets he has to hire two people to hold his pants up. So yeah, he wants to be famous. He wants to be the a legend that people remember for the rest of his life, which he intends to be as long as possible. And past that, I don't know that he has much in the way of depth yet. He might get there. He might someday.
There
Or
are
we could all just retire, rich as thieves and build, statues to our own greatness.
You can work on your internal character later. Now we find money.
Yes, exactly. Next up, and let me just, I realize that our window's a little bit small, so let me just fix that real quick so folks who are watching can see things a little bit better. But let's go to Tom, played by Dylan.
Tom is a man on a desperate quest for rock bottom. He is a gonzo journalist from the inner systems who has developed a pretty severe death stick habit and has basically gone farther and farther out on the extreme, on the edge of the galaxy, looking for more and more, just basically trying to escalate his experiences. So he's doesn't have a whole lot of I would say, I don't know, he's just a sybarite. He's looking for he's a guy looking for experiences.
All right, there we are, and he shall find them. And lastly, but certainly not least, Zag Vitus.
Zag is a Bothan that grew up on the poorer end of Bothawui.
Yeah.
Bothawui, yeah. He would often just run out into, whatever ruins or anything he could find just to play around. And eventually he found something that was Jedi, and he kind of realized that that's what he wanted to do for his life, was find more Jedi relics. And he's not aware of it yet, but he has finally awoken. Yeah.
Yes, something's tingling. Something's different. Something has changed.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the characters. That's our party. Again, we jumped right in media res, as they say, last time. So we skipped over the whole character introduction part, but there you are. That is the party, and now we're going to continue with what that party is actually doing this particular time. So where we left off, the Lost Legacy had departed Vergesso Station. Basically, Lena just picked the nearest safe port that she knew of, which is the planet Bajic, which is the Bajic system, which is right down the way. Bajic is a quiet planet. It's an agro world. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a little bit. The ship is... The Lost Legacy is a salvage vessel, of course, owned by Andro and Lodicom Madar, and they have you've come into their acquaintance in the search for answers regarding a certain mysterious ancient artifact known as the Orrery. And it turns out that they're not the only ones who are interested in this, because it seems that someone has hired some bounty hunters, at least one bounty hunter, to track them down. And you defeated that one of those bounty hunters, the infamous? Does he qualify as infamous? Yada Gushi.
Technically, I think we still have him.
You do still have him. He is actually on board the ship. You've got him locked up in his own binders. As a bounty hunter, one carries around plenty of binders. So you got him locked up in his own binders, and they don't really have cells on the Lost Legacy, but with a little tinkering, you basically find a reasonably small empty compartment that you can stow him in. With Lodicom's help, he's like, we just have to take the stuff out of there. There's no vents that he can get through. There's no interior mechanisms that he can get to easily. it should be okay. But I mean, he'll tell you like the main thing is the binders. Like he's, this isn't a cell. I just want you to know that we'll disable the internal switch on the lock, but we have to figure.
We don't have anything high security yet.
You don't have anything high security. That's not something that you've gotten a chance to do on the ship yet because you just arrived here. The trip to Bajic takes about 9 hours. The ship doesn't have the fastest hyperdrive in the galaxy, even though the system is close. It's going to take a little while, but it is a simple one-hop jump on a known hyperlane, so it's not something that is particularly challenging in terms of astrogation. So you have some time during that period where you can do what you want to do. Now, the thing is, it was actually evening when you met Lodicom in the last session, and you pretty much went directly from meeting him and your brief encounter with your first encounter with Yadaguchi and his first band of hirelings. You went directly to the ship, and then after a second encounter with Yadaguchi, departed. So no one has really had a chance to sleep much. So some of you might be interested in a little sleep, but there's a problem, and the problem comes in the form of your obligations, because this is the first time we're going to be using folks' obligations, and they will come up again. In this case, Zag is really, really, really excited about this orrery. And he is tinkering with it. He's asking questions. He's looking for help. He's giving people updates. And that means that Zag is not getting a lot of sleep. And to varying extents, you all are not getting a lot of sleep. So Zag, your obligation of obsession came up this particular time around. And so your strain threshold will be reduced by 2 for this session. So that it reduces your, it's not just like you lose 2 strain and you get them right back. It actually lowers your strain for this session. It'll go back to normal at the end of the session. Everyone else's strain is reduced by 1 because he's keeping you up.
He won't shut up.
He won't shut up. He won't leave you alone. So basically everybody is a little bit tired, a little bit, just like, they Lodicom and Andro gave you a place to stay, a compartment with some bunks in it. Like, here you go. It's comfortable enough, or it would be if he wasn't constantly like turning on the light, finding something on the data pad going, found something. No, that's not it.
No.
Doing some research, shaking Lena like, is this look familiar in terms of astrogation to you?
Didn't we pick up a stun rifle?
You do have a stun prod somewhere, I believe.
Mine doesn't have that setting yet.
Yes, we'll get there.
No, the riot blaster.
The riot
That was a
blaster.
stun weapon,
No, the
wasn't
riot.
it?
Yeah, it does have a stun setting. Yes.
Yeah.
But so that's the story. So whatever your strain threshold is on your character sheet, just count that as 1 lower for purposes of this session.
Except for Zag, who's 2
lower, right? Now the other important thing we have everybody to do, which we do every time, and we will do every time, is that everybody needs to roll 1 force die, and that will account for our destiny in this session. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do is go to RPG sessions, pick 1. There we go. So we got 1 dark side from Lena, and just roll that 1 white die. There we go.
Apparently, I'm a little cranky when I don't get sleep.
That's true.
Damn.
Apparently everybody's cranky.
Bit of the dark side this time.
Zag's excited though, and that's what's important.
Yes. Zag he's pulling the positive destiny to himself.
If I was gonna be up all night, I would have built a better chair for sitting at the controls. But then there was this whole thing like, it's not your ship. You don't get to just like put in a booster seat. That's rude. In my opinion. Exactly right.
Gotcha.
Problem is, it's a little hard to transmissions are slow in hyperspace. It's a little hard to get in touch with people. It's get downloads from the holonet. So it's
well, that's why I bugged everybody on the ship.
Exactly. It's like ordinarily I would just look this up on the holonet, but the connection's really slow. So
still a little confused why you think I care. I mean, no.
Sleeping. So
Tired.
you're all just trying to rest. And like I said, it takes about 9 hours, and you're all just really exhausted. I'm assuming that there's not really anything anybody else is going to do. Well, technically, I know that Sorbo stayed up for a little bit to just kind of tune his gun up a little bit.
I finally have some downtime where I'm in a clean room where parts stay where I put them, and we're not moving in half an hour. And so yes, there was definitely some time spent with his favorite possession.
Right. So just to let you all know, just as a little refresher, who else is on the ship with you? I'm sorry, Lena had a question.
No, I think you're going to answer it. So
okay.
Go.
So as to who else, what other beings are on this ship with you? So there's Andromedar, the captain, and as you found out last time, also a member of the royal family of the Cronies Mandate. There is his husband Lodicom Madar, and then of course in binders in a little closet on one of the lower decks is bounty hunter Yadaguchi. Also on the ship are two astromech droids, R4E33 and R7P14, who basically form the rest of the crew effectively, along with 3 pit droids who don't have enough sentience to be given individual names. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Those are the pit droids. I mean, maybe they do have names, but they're unpronounceable to human ears. So.
So how long does it take before Sorbo gives them nicknames?
Probably not long. I will leave that up to Sorbo.
Sorbo, what do you call the pit droids?
They're not technically his yet. They still technically belong to the people who own the ship for now.
Yeah.
So what he's done is he's put like grease stripes across the top of their head so he can tell which. It's not 1, 2, and 3. They're patterns. But
they're patterns. Okay. Yes.
Yes. They're not named yet, but they are distinct.
XYZ checkerboard.
Exactly.
Well, we'll get there. As you work with them more, you will learn more about them. They will potentially, you will notice personality quirks about them. Certainly, the astromechs seem to think it's like, why are you spending so much time talking to the pit droids? We are clearly
they have hands.
They have hands. We have hands. All kinds of
no. The astromechs don't have hands. Yes, exactly.
They have implements.
Cool.
Tools.
Hold this wrench. No,
so they do
fair. Pit droid.
So yeah, but they're very curious as to what you were doing, tinkering around with the ship. I'm assuming though, with the need for sleep and the fact you're also tinkering with your gun, and Lena, I know you wanted to get some sleep. I'm assuming we're not really working on the smaller ship, the Grasshopper, which is within the vessel.
No,
quite at this time.
The sort of like the two of them getting distracted and checking it out while everyone else was doing actual important. Let's not get
It was very important.
Yeah, we got distracted earlier when everyone else was boarding the ship. We know what it is. We'll get to that, but for now, it's not going anywhere, and yeah. Sleep is nice.
It's kind of boring until I can turn it on, and he told me I couldn't turn it on yet.
There you go. Yeah. So that's the rules. And meanwhile, Bobkin, you're pestered, of course, also by Zag with requests for. So, how long have you known that you have some ability with the Force? And what you do or do not tell him is something we can work out during the session. But I'm assuming the question, unless Zag, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming the question is being asked.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, what do you know about the Force? Are you Force sensitive too? I mean, come on.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
It's not being answered.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't notice.
Yeah, just go away. Kid. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Bobkin's making a very, very pointed snoring sound.
Pull up Wookkiepedia. Wookkiepedia. This says Force. I don't know.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, mass times momentum. There you go. Basic physics. There you go.
And I imagine at one point in time, Zag does bother Gushi too, but oh right, I can't understand you, and closes the door.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So after about 9 hours, or after about 8 hours, really, Lena, you just kind of give up, and you just get up, go down to the command deck again, and Andro is there, and he's also he's a little tired himself, but and he asks you, so, you get any sleep?
No, the one with the thing won't shut up.
The one with the thing.
Your shiny plate thing. He won't stop talking about it. I get it. It's like a cool Jedi thing, but I don't know. I'm tired.
Yeah, he was asking me questions
And
before.
it's kind of hard to pilot a plane. We have to stand on the seat. Can we have a discussion again about the booster seat thing?
Oh, I can have a discussion with you about that, actually. And he shows you, he actually has, he's like, I put this in storage for a long time ago. And it's a little control unit that goes on the side. There's a little socket for it on the side of the seat. And you punch in a few controls, and it will actually give you a lot of options. It like raises up the level of the seat and raises up the piston. So it effectively can reconfigure itself to make a seat of use for you. So he did
Awesome.
manage
She
to
will,
do that.
she will be noticeably happier.
Yes. And he says, so in return for that, if you don't mind, I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep myself. Would you mind taking over? We should be coming out of hyperspace pretty soon, but...
Oh, twist her arm.
Agreed. Yes.
Just avoid the dude with the plate.
I'm going to take
seriously.
I will take another route. I will take another... I know this ship better than he does. I'm sure I can avoid him. So you do that. You take over. And then you all come on out of hyperspace in the Bajic system. And almost immediately as you come out, Lena, you get a little beeping on the control panel. And you're not used to this control panel too much, but it looks like you're being pinged by sensors.
Okay, so I was going for like safe. That's usually not a good sign.
And as you pull
Is there
on...
any way for her to figure out who?
Oh yeah, it's coming up right in front of you as you pull up to the planet. Attention salvage vessel. This is the Imperial warship Duenna. Your transponder signal is intermittent. Please provide your identification and port of origin. What do you do?
Motherfucker.
This is the SS motherfucker.
We have a cover story.
Nope, time for you to come up with one.
You have not discussed one. Oh, by the way, I am now, for that, flipping one black die back to light side.
Damn, Star Destroyer is one die.
Well, it's not a Star Destroyer exactly. It's a Corvette. It's smaller.
It's also not firing on us.
It's not firing on you. It's making a query, as you know, honestly, as the Imperials are wont to do when they are happen to be patrolling a system. But you better have an answer for that query pretty quickly.
Tell them we're from Dantooine.
By the way, you can also the other things you can do right now. You can chime an alert, let people know what the hell's going on.
Oh yes, yeah. So I think that Lana would have like a default answer. Like this is probably not the first time that she has had to like give them a who they are. No, generally she gets by on being seeming innocent and being cute. So she's probably got something that will definitely tie her back to Aline and that clearly she's a like, I'm so cute and innocent and you possibly couldn't be threatened by me.
Okay.
kind of answer.
So I'll give you a second to think of kind of what generally what is going to be her reply. I mean, is she going to give the vessel's real name? You heard they said the transponder signal was intermittent, which is technically it probably shouldn't be for a vessel that doesn't want to get pestered by the Imperials. And you haven't really had a chance to discuss anything like that with Andro or Lodicom, so you don't know why the transponder is intermittent. But basically, yeah, they're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna give the actual name like that. This ain't her first rodeo, and if there's
Okay.
something funky up, I mean, we already know that these guys are like trying to get away from people, and yeah, they're after the item, but they're always also after them.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I don't know what would be a good answer to that, but
Okay.
I think she actually probably.
I will throw it open to the group. Again, we can rely on a roll purely, but I am for narrative purposes, I'd say let's throw it open to the group and say since Leanna this is not her first rodeo, what is something that she could reply with? What's a good way to please Imperials don't bother us response?
Tell them that you're having terrible power problems all over the ship, not just the transponder, but but you're just limping into port, and whatever I'm Tribbles is what jumping to mind, but I'm trying to think of the Star Trek equivalent, but something where they wouldn't
Wrong
want to
universe.
board and check it out.
Just
Space rats.
Yeah, you may have just gotten rid of some Minox on the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They suck power, right?
Yeah,
That's the thing?
they suck power,
Yeah.
and they destroy
yeah.
power
Tell
cables.
them you just flew through a nest of Minox. The whole ship is having power fluctuations, and you're just limping to ground.
To do some repair. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Apologies, we're having some technical difficulties. We recently had I mean, I thought I navigated around it. I didn't really work so well, but like we ran into a nest of Minox, and you could totally like come on and check them out, but I can't promise you that they're all gone. And I really like it feels irresponsible to have you. I mean, I don't know. You feel like energy eating plague, because actually we could really use the help. Like if you could come in and clean up the last of them, that would be great. Because definitely.
All right.
Hey, still working?
Give me a deception roll.
Oh shit! I don't actually know if she's any good at deception.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you one boost die, because this is
Because she's adorable.
I think that's actually that a combination of that and the fact that I think this is actually a pretty good thing that you all came up with.
Did those roll?
Yeah, it did, and it appears that you did succeed. You did succeed with that.
Why did I not see the roll?
Maybe gotta scroll up.
I realized my laptop was connected to the extender from downstairs and not upstairs, so it's being a little funky.
There you go.
Let me try refreshing.
But you did succeed. You in fact you have success
There
with
you are.
you have success with 5 advantages, which is pretty
She's
impressive.
adorable.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. We didn't do that right. I didn't.
Oh, there's no challenge.
There's no challenge. There's no challenge. I'm really sorry, but we're gonna have to re-roll that one. With yes, I'm sorry.
Can I roll just the challenge part?
We can roll just the challenge, and you can subtract that from this. So just roll 2 challenge dice, please, or 2 difficulty dice. Two purple.
Okay, okay, cool. I was like, oops, I added the purple ones. Ooh, okay, so the failure to counteract the success, and then so that just 2 advantage.
Okay, so 2 advantage. So that's what we get, and that seems reasonable. So you have 2 advantage. So I'm gonna say that the 2 advantage is basically. It definitely sounds like when they reply. Well, I'll just reply. If you have Minox, we don't want to board. Thank you very much. In fact, keep your distance. That, however, doesn't exactly answer my question. I repeat, what is your designation and port of origin?
Do we have a SS any boat kind of name that I can give?
Everybody, come up with a name. Somebody come up with a name.
SS Minnow.
Oh, sorry. Must have gotten lost in the transmission. Again, weird. You're there, right?
Like hitting.
This is the
hitting
this
the
is the SS Minnow, and our last port of origin was a 3-hour tour. I'm fine just giving like somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah. So yeah, you probably should give an actual location. Actually,
would they care if I gave where we came from?
No, in fact, there's an argument to be made that that's probably the best policy because you're on a hyperlane. That's the closest port. It makes sense.
Yeah, that part doesn't seem. I don't want them to know who we are exactly, but I'm okay if they know where we came from.
Isn't it a shadow port though? Isn't it like a, it's like saying we just sailed out of Tortuga?
Not. I mean, to some extent, it's not quite that cut and dry. Vergesso Station is a legitimate business operation. Like they know it exists. It's on the star charts.
Business.
Yeah, it's on their charts.
Okay.
It just they don't go there that often,
Mm-hmm.
So you just tell them yes, we're the SS Minnow out of Vergesso Station.
Yeah. I again, sorry if I missed this. Was it Lotocom or Andro that was piloting previously?
It was Andro. Okay,
so I will try and see if I can't get a hold of. Well, he didn't go to bed too long ago. I'll ping out to kind of other people. I'll be like, hey guys, we got company of a very law enforcement type.
Okay, so everyone, a message goes out over the internal comms to say that, and you awaken. And presumably some or all of you gather on the command deck to see what the heck is going on and find this Vigil class Imperial Corvette some distance away and Lena in the process of attempting to stave them off. Then you make it just up there in time to hear them ask, "What is your business in the Bajic system? Simply repairs?"
Yes, sir.
Go with that. Go with that.
Those little energy buggers are kind of a. I'm sorry. You're.
We're going through a tunnel.
Yes, I think I'm going to require another deception roll with the same.
She just keeps thumping the intercom.
Yes, yeah, with the same difficulty, 2 purple. So if you could please roll that for me.
Haha! Suck it! I help real well.
So 3 successes and 1 advantage. All right, they clearly just. I mean, when you say the word Minoc to a starship crew, regardless of who they are, the immediate reaction is ugh. So they
Space herpes.
Yeah, they are not in the mood to get any closer to your vessel, and
actually we could really use the help. I mean, I promise, like, if you just send like one person over, I've heard they only like kind of mess with people's suits. It just
Ask them for a tow.
Hello? Hi, please? No? Okay.
I'm sure the planetary repair services will be adequate. Thank you. Be on your way.
Just like he's like extra note.
So congratulations, you have avoided being boarded by the duenna. and the ship is free to land on the agro world of Bajic. So you pass by, real casual like, the Imperial vessel.
Fly casual,
and you make your way to
Later
Bajic.
stuttering the engines as we go.
Exactly.
Hey, Sorbo, can you like just like superficially muck up some stuff? We need some like Minoc cover.
It's a good point. So Sorbo,
I mean, this thing was kind of filthy when we first got here. it was not particularly well maintained last session, so I assume it's not unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable, not unbelievable
Yeah.
at all, and it's a large and kind of semi-grungy vessel, so it's not immediately obvious what its typical power configuration is. So you're probably okay. I mean, other than like literally flicking the lights on and off every once in a while as you go by. You know, the other thing that you could do, I suppose, Sorbo, if you wanted to like modify the drive output a little bit, so it kind of just like kind of sputters a little bit as the ship passes by, that probably would be a good thing.
Yeah, he'll go in and do the barest minimum to sell this, not because he doesn't care, but because he doesn't want to have to put it all back together again if he does something like
Unplugs one thing.
drastic.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just
I get it.
yeah, he'll go in and detune some things so that it looks nastier than it is as we drive past, and just, but before that, he's gonna write down where everything was beforehand on a data pad so he can put it all back without much thought. You know,
Yes.
we're not taking the ship apart just for some Corvette.
Yeah,
That's
it was basically, again, it just amounts to just unplugging a few things. Like nothing,
Yes.
you're not disassembling anything.
Yes.
So you do that, and that's, you know, just seems to add a little gravy to the Imperial impression. I mean, they're already letting you pass, but if they are watching, we will account for that potentially in future rolls as a bit of a boost if it becomes necessary. Hopefully it will not. But the ship makes planetfall on Bajic. As I said before, Bajic is an agro world, and you know, you kind of all, as is typical, you all kind of look over like, well, what's this planet like? It's temperate. It does not have a large population. You land near what is charitably the largest settlement. It doesn't, you know, it's charitably a city. It doesn't really have the spaceport is basically like 6 landing pads. It doesn't have proper docking bays to speak of, but it can handle some bigger ships, and indeed it seems like the only other traffic going in and out of here are bulk freighters carrying grain, which is the primary export of the planet. So that's Bajic. It is indeed a quiet little planet that people don't mess with that much. And technically, it has no Imperial garrison, although there's obviously the patrol that is circling overhead.
Usually I pick better. Anybody got an idea why the Empire is hanging out?
They're hungry.
Well, actually, I'm kind of hungry. I bet this place has good breakfasts.
They probably do. I bet they have pancakes.
Ooh, I like pancakes.
Hotcakes, griddle cakes, you name it. So you come in for a landing at the spaceport. The landing seems relatively problem free. Don't need to make a piloting roll or anything like that. It's super routine, handled mostly by computer. And Andro, for one, breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you for handling that.
If anybody asks, we're the SS Minnow.
All right.
Go with it. It's adorable.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with that.
Like, I did not get enough sleep.
He'll tell you, like, I did forget to mention that when we first heard that there was a bounty out on us, I mucked around with the ship's transponder to mask our information.
Yeah, found out the hard way, so cool. Maybe I'll get, you don't know me, I don't know you, like it's fine for now, but like pancakes and some backstory, huh?
Probably a good idea.
Seems like a messed up transponder attracts more attention.
Well, this is not I'm not a smuggler. This is not our regular.
Well, it is his first rodeo.
It was basically, he looked up like, what do you do when you want to avoid?
This is the friggin' wiki how.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's essentially
how to do crime.
How to do crime. Step 1. That's essentially what he did.
Yeah.
So he will happily buy the group some breakfast in the town. The town is Trebicki. is again, it passes for a city, but it doesn't actually doesn't really have that many people in it at all.
Before we leave the ship,
Mhm.
Sorbo would like to check in on our guest.
Indeed.
Is there a language barrier? I'm trying to remember. Like,
there is a language barrier, but you can punch up a translation on your data pad, on one of the data pads on the ship. It's slow. It's not
Fair.
always accurate. It's about, it has accuracy problems. It's not a protocol droid. Let's put it that way.
Oh, absolutely not. But yeah, just check in.
Find out if he wants pancakes.
Well, yeah, the first question was, what do you want for breakfast? And the second question, and while he's in, what do you want for breakfast? So he types that out laboriously, hands him the data pad so he can do it with his restraints.
He understands standard. He just can't speak it.
Oh.
His mouth parts don't make the right.
Fair. All right. Well
noises.
then, yeah, I think he'll figure that out after the first or second time he's laboriously typed out messages in standard silently while standing in front of him, just sitting there typing on a data pad and then handing it to him. And he's gonna check and make sure that no one's disassembled any of the like duct work in the room or like laboriously sharpened some piece of metal against like we're just making sure that his stay is comfortable and not brief.
Right.
And then also, what does he want for breakfast?
Okay. He is initially, when you open the door, hostile, not to the point of trying to attack you, but definitely his first words to you in the translator are, which translates to epithet.
What a mouth on that guy.
Epithet.
Yes.
So various.
Just have the droid translate. Beep, 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 beep.
And the horse you rode in on.
Yeah. 3-way translation. That's not something we want.
What a fun game of telephone.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I expect that. He's not exactly in luxury accommodations, and he's not. He's still in binders, in restraints. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it personally. That's fine.
Well, that's appreciated.
Yeah, he does. It's very much a patient sort of like a get out of your system. I understand. Let it out. You don't want that to fester. Like, okay, cool. What do you want? For
Counseling with Sorbo.
Yeah.
Right. So fair enough.
If his response to the typed out "what do you want for breakfast" is going to be more profanity, then Sorbo will take the data pad away, modify it, and then hand it back, and it will say, "What do you epithet want for breakfast?"
That indeed is roughly the exchange that occurs. He keeps growling and shouting at you a little bit, and when you send that second message back to him, he kind of replies with, I know standard.
Oh, right. Okay.
And B,
pancakes.
Yeah. I will take 3 griddle cakes, please.
Black.
We'll
and it goes something like this. It goes
and as soon as he gets the message back of like I don't have to type everything out to him.
Yes.
Right. We'll get this all sorted out. I don't want to have a pet you any more than you want to be a pet you. You're not living out your rest of your days here, I promise. We've just got to figure out something to do with you that doesn't involve us getting shot in the back. I'm sure you understand. And then he will just kind of like make sure the door is locked, give him like a and then wander off to go get breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to appreciate that to the extent that you can read Aqualish body language.
Yeah, this is not just a holdover until we take you out behind the woodshed. Like, genuinely, if we could just make you go away,
we would.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
So all right, so that yeah. So then breakfast. So you all head on into town. You see again the map of the general area there. Trubicki is, again, as I said, not a big town. It has a market in the central part of town. Off that market are a number of food stalls. It's mostly outdoor eating. You see the population is mostly human, but there are Twi'leks and Rhodians and a smattering of other folks in evidence in the population. There are various beasts of burden and some really rickety, old-looking land speeders without their cowlings and, with rust spots on them, and that they've seen better days. It's not the bright center of the universe. Let's put it that way.
Before we get too much farther, Zag would have given the item back to Lodic to put away.
Yes, that's a good point. So let's that if you give the item
So
back
we're
to
not
Lodic.
carrying it into town.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. So you give the item back to Lodic. Lodic puts it in the ship's safe. So that is where it is. The ship is basically also locked up after you. So, I realize that.
Lodicum?
Yeah,
Lodicum.
Andrew
Can
says,
we leave that in there? It's like seriously need a nap.
we'll make arrangements. So that all happens, and so you all share a nice meal of griddle cakes and local some kind of local meats.
Give me something hot and lace those with as many stimulants as you have.
Yes, equivalent of coffee placed before you.
Yes. No, they have some.
I think Tom might be some better living through chemistry over coffee.
Yeah,
oh no,
you
I
can't
know.
tell what's legal wherever you go. So you just have
That's
to have
right.
as many stimulants as you
If
have.
they do in fact have breakfast cocktails, which includes something called jet juice, which is a combination of stimulant and depressant. So,
All right, I'm on board.
So you partake in a little bit of jet juice. Very good.
Yep.
So that's your breakfast. And after a couple of those, you're ready to talk. So, what is on offer here in Trubicki? In Trubicki, there's basically not a lot going on. The serving droid asks you if you are here for the local tool ball game.
Yes, we are now. What's
The great
Tubal?
Bajician pastime, tool ball.
Well, this is the Harvest Classic. You're so lucky to have come here at this time of year.
Wouldn't miss it.
There's a 2-for-1 ticket special for off-worlders, you know. You should take advantage. It starts in a few hours. Would you like some more jet juice?
Yes. Is there a 2-for-1 special on that too?
Of
A
course!
nickel for every time
Then I'll take 4.
my party was also drunk.
So the cheerful serving droid gets you some more, and is actually quite helpful. And is there any other things you folks will need while you're in town, while you're in port, while you're here on our planet?
How do we get to the Harvest Bowl?
Meanwhile, Sorbo's just going to look at our effective, employers when this question is asked. I'm like, I don't know, is there anything that we should know about or need?
Andrew will say, we'll ask you if we need anything. He will say over the table, all right, look, first thing, obviously, since we're undoing repairs, we should stay here in port for a little while. The last thing we want to do is turn right back around and leave immediately. So we should probably stay here so as not to arouse the interest of our friends in orbit.
Was that like step 3 in the how to do crime?
I mean, I'm not, like I said, it's not exactly my normal fare, but there's certain things I did figure out. Second, we need to come to some kind of business arrangement. I really,
Not
obviously,
usually my department.
I thought we decided on equal shares last time. equal shares of everything found along the way, along with everything at the end.
With everything at the end, what about the bounty hunter part, though?
As in, like, what to do?
As in what to do, as in if, make or forbid, some more show up, will you help us drive them off?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or is, is that outside of your job description?
I mean,
Well,
that basically is my job description.
It's. I mean, you're sort of an
Says-
investment for us now.
Says Sorbo, holding a doggy bag.
Yes.
You said the vault was locked to your bloodline or whatever it was, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's in our best interest to keep you breathing and with us.
That's true. I can't argue with that. So as long as we're clear on that, that we can count on you, I appreciate it. And of course, I appreciate what you've already done to help us. So
You're welcome. Can
what
I
are-
have more pancakes?
you can. Room and board will be included for the duration of this business venture as well. So you're the experts. What's the next step?
Sorbo turns to Zag with this just like not craggy, stony-faced expression, but a certain level of impatience. You kept everyone up all night. What did you learn?
He's got dark under his eyes, and he's been doing the like fork in food, goes into mouth, fork in food. Sometimes it misses, but
Goes
he's
into
been like
side of
looking.
face.
Yeah, he's been looking over his data pad the whole time that we've been sitting here. However, I don't know. Did he learn anything over the night?
More cobbleberry jam?
Absolutely. I got some really cool drawings of it done, and I'm really trying to figure this all out.
What do you need to do that?
I don't know. I mean, we got to figure out
What?
if there's other parts to this thing. I mean, the little hole is,
He's like nodding encouragingly, like,
yeah.
like, what do you need to do that?
Oh,
You
that.
could take a
I
quick
don't
look at it
know.
again, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, that might be like I don't know. I'm trying to get ideas from everybody. I was just trying to. I'm sorry for keeping you all up.
Are there other people to get ideas from?
Can you refresh me on where we were on what like it would be a really, really old star system, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, old is a relative term with star systems, but it would be it doesn't, what you put into the astrogation computer did not match any known system. Everybody, let me see here. Anybody who has
I've got a suggestion actually.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, there's that little output port, whatever it is on the side there. The ones look like people have been messing around with it.
Yeah.
Maybe investigate that. Try to figure out make some sort of custom connector for it.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what it does yet, but yeah, that's
That
definitely
would be
a
one way to
possibility.
find out.
Actually, Zag, you're not sure that you're not sure, but you're kind of feeling like it's not. You kind of feel like it's not a data port.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like key of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That's more where his brain was at. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think this is for information. I think it's something that might open or unlock it more. I don't know.
Hey, Sorbo, can you make a stick that fits in it?
Reach over, grab fork, bend tine of fork. Do you mean like?
Oh, but also I don't want to give it back to Zag because he's gonna seriously be up for hours.
There's a lot of scratches on the outside. I think people probably tried that one already.
I mean, I can take a look.
But-
if it's
but-
mechanical, I can try.
Exactly. They may have tried, but Sorbo hasn't.
You're
Yeah,
not wrong.
I'm up for anybody to help me out.
I've got a suggestion. I don't know if it helps us here, but given that it's a Jedi doohickey, there might not be a tool for it. You might need to wave your hands, do the Force shit. Maybe you need to telekinetically open it.
Let me get inside and take a look around, and I'll let you know. Well, but that's not a thing to do at the breakfast table.
No.
Yeah, well, it's not here. I'm just showing
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
in
I
the
wave my hands around constantly.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's
nothing
just a level of Sorbo's got his got an idea or two to look at. But in the meantime, we have our resident. We'll go with scholar. Where do we take Zag and put him so that he how do I get things in his head so that
More
he
jet
makes
juice?
I mean,
Yes.
sure, that you can start with that. But yeah, Sorbo is not.
By the way, if
Sorbo's
you're
not a
scholars-
fine sort.
If you're scholars, you should go check out the ruins.
Ruins?
I'm listening.
The ruins outside of
So is
town.
the droid.
And he trundles away.
Wait, no, ruins.
It's occurring to me now that it's pretty likely that our conversation is being recorded so the droid knows when to come over. So maybe we shouldn't be talking about this at a breakfast table.
Step 4 of how to do crime.
I really hope that in the future this group writes a book called How to Do Crime.
Hey,
I was just thinking about that.
can we
Yes,
get the map back up,
you can get the map back up.
please?
There'll be different chapters, like one of the chapter 1, money laundering. First, find some detergent.
So indeed, when you call up your little holo map on your comlinks, there is something called the Shaden Ruins that's outside of town. A little bit of info digging. This is publicly available knowledge. Nobody needs a roll. Just tells you that at one time long ago, Bajic was not an agro world. That it actually did have a more sophisticated urbane civilization, which was apparently wiped out quite some time ago. Nobody knows exactly how long.
Zag is far more motivated to check out the ruins now, and it's just like, come on, let's go.
Don't even
unless
know
you
what
guys-
the ruins of, though.
It's exploring.
Does that mean you don't want to finish your pancakes?
You could have them.
I don't know. I'm drunk enough that this sounds like a good idea. So yeah,
Where's that droid with
I'm
the-
on board.
So, all right.
Maybe
So-
Lodic, you can catch a game.
Oh yeah, let's
With
go
your
catch
husband.
the ball.
So some of the party are going to the ruins. Some of the party are going to the tool ball tournament.
Oh, jeez.
Sorbo has breakfast to deliver, but after that, he's basically going to stick by his pilot's side.
Okay. So where is so Zag wants to go to the ruins. Tom wants to go to the ruins. Does anybody else want to go to the ruins?
For what reason?
There might be Jedi stuff there that we can look into, and there might be more that people haven't uncovered.
People have looked at the ruins. Sorbo hasn't looked at the ruins.
You can go to the
Zag.
ruins if you want. Noticum, you're gonna come to the game with me, right?
Yes, definitely.
Into the game? Okay.
See, I'll be fine. Look at that face.
We should at least,
Chapter 6 of How to Do Crime.
Yeah,
Never
yeah, I was
split the
like-
party.
yeah. It's like,
We haven't gotten that far yet. We haven't read that far yet.
Wookkiepedia. What are these ruins like?
Well-
Why?
Well, I mean, they have you can. This actually will require either outer rim or outer rim's probably the right skill. So, go if anybody has the outer rim skill, give me a roll, or if
I
just
mean, I could.
you can give me a roll in general knowledge as well.
I actually do have the Outer Rim skill.
There you go.
Roll away.
Ask me how many knowledge skills.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I should give you a difficulty.
That would help.
I would say it's a difficulty of 2.
And how do we do this? Where do I?
In the game window, the RPG sessions window, the same one where you rolled your force die, your character should be there. You select a skill from the drop down where it says skill.
It's under all the different dice.
It's under all the different dice. There's choose a skill, a little green box, and in that box is all the skills. So you just select one. In this case, you select Outer Rim, and roll that.
Yeah.
But
And you
add
roll-
the
and you add
difficulty.
But you add 2 purple dice to that.
So after you've selected the skill, you
add 2 purple
die
dice.
twice. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, look at you, Zag. 2 successes and 2 threats. Interesting.
yeah.
Our skull.
Anybody else? Anybody else rolling here?
I did. Yeah, surprising no one. Sorrow is not book learning.
Yes. It's not practical information. Sorbo doesn't know
His
it.
Outer Rim knowledge comes from growing up in the Outer Rim. It's very broad and it has weird bits of depth, but it is not constant. So yeah, no clue.
Fair enough.
I have
Well,
education. I don't suppose that would have helped, though, right?
education is a little too general for these purposes, and
Okay.
education is like for sort of general professional skills and knowledge.
Okay.
But it won't. Yeah, Outer Rim is specific area knowledge of the region. So, but I mean, that'll do. What Zag rolled will do. That's 2
Yeah,
successes.
enjoy those 2 threats later.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So, Zag, what you know that there was a civilization here. They estimate that it was probably around 14 to 1500 years ago. They were a major industrial society at the time. They had some kind of environmental degradation, which the planet has clearly since recovered from. And they were bombed out of existence by forces unknown.
Oh.
The planet basically suffered some horrible orbital bombardments by some kind of, again, force that is history has never really identified. It killed tens of millions, and those who survived adopted an agrarian way of life and set about repairing the damage to their ecosystem and basically changed the culture of the planet.
Okay. Yeah.
That is what is known. But the civilization is estimated to have existed on the planet for what? 7,000-8,000 years before that. So the planet has been settled for a very long time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, sorry. What planet are we on again?
Bajic.
Bajic. Oh. Bloody hell. This place was bombed almost out of existence.
Long ago.
That was long ago. Not
Me-
so far away.
In the galaxy,
Sorrow's
right
looking
here.
around for like it looks fine. I mean,
They've been recovering for thousands of years at this point.
history.
It was an industrial city, almost inhospitable. But yeah, something blew everyone up here, and they've been rebuilding. And
So what you're saying is there was something worth fighting over.
yes, but I don't know what. Either that or they pissed someone off.
He will look
Oh.
meaningfully in the direction that you go out of town to get to the ruins. Just think,
All right.
I'm going to go deliver breakfast.
Okay, so Sorbo goes to deliver breakfast to Yadaguchi on the ship. I know of 2 people who are going to the ruins. I know of Lena is going with Lodikam Andrew wants to get some sleep, to be honest, so he's going to go back to the ship and sleep. Who?
I mean, that
Lena
works because it was
Well-
2 for 1 on the tickets, and I mean,
Yes, sure. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it.
I think we're gonna pull Lena aside.
Yeah, ruins aren't a
before-
bad idea. Let's go to ruins.
Before things like split, we're gonna have like a little like team powwow.
but tool ball.
It,
It's the Harvest Classic.
See,
it'll be there. Like, it'll be there.
all right. Ludicum, do you want to come with us to the ruins, or do you want to go take a
yeah,
nap?
you can go to the game. I'm not saying no. I just want to have some conversations about what to do in case of emergency on a strange planet.
I know that tone. That tone is don't go to the sports ball game.
No, that tone is
Party.
I don't want to go to the sports ball game. But I'll go if you make me.
Oh no, you can go to the ruins. I don't care.
But
What comes
then
in
you
handy?
won't have anyone looking out for you, so we should
Come on, look
have
at his
the
face.
safety talk.
I can't even reach the face.
Safety talk.
Safety talk.
You have a communicator.
Oh, I was gonna tell you I had my blaster, but yeah, I also have a communicator.
You should pull the trigger on the communicator before you pull the trigger on the blaster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do both. I'm just saying call me.
You lied to the Empire this morning. Come on, I got this.
I know you're competent. I want to help. If you're gonna shoot anyone, call me first so I can come play.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna have to shoot anybody at the game. I
All
don't
right.
even know what side we're rooting for.
Yeah, unless it goes really badly for your side, then maybe who
It's
knows.
not important what side you're rooting for. It's what side you're betting on.
I'm not good at betting. Hey, Lodicum, how are you on gambling?
Use someone else's money. He'll nod and walk away.
Lodic's like, it depends on the game, but yeah, whose money are we using?
I mean, your husband went to take a nap. He won't know.
It's true, but I'm already in the already in the Womp Rat house with him already. So
Blame her.
that's right. I have you to blame now.
What I do.
Yes.
Hey, we saved your butt.
Let's go to the game. So once again, Lodicom takes your hand, and away you go to the game.
We had
It's
to
becoming
have the
a
safety talk. Safety
Becoming a
talk is
theme.
important.
I mean, she thought you were gonna make her go to the ruins, so she's bloody happy.
No, he is, however, going to be blowing up your communicator with pictures of whatever we find and like text and notes. Not because he's expecting you to like pay attention to them during the game, but just because he wants you to be like he wants you to have the experience of having gone and looked at all this stuff as well.
You're getting selfies from the game, like foam
Yeah.
paper and like
The
Whatever.
bulk
I
of
imagine
thought.
this is like 70% of how they communicate. I think is like selfies and like Snapchats. And,
Yes,
and the equivalent.
I think
Starbo, you
that's-
have so many filters on your communicator. I mean, more
He's
than
kinda
any
like
man
that.
would ever need.
any normal
I am
man.
no mere man. Yes.
So in any event,
Mm.
Lena and Lodic, after the safety talk, Lena and Lodic go off to the game. Sorbo, you go back to deliver the food.
Breakfast.
Are you, so is my understanding correct, Sorbo, after you have delivered the breakfast, are you going to join the others at the ruins?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No.
Okay.
It is go back to ship, deliver food, get gun, go to ruins.
Okay. With that in mind, does everybody else want to, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the ruins and just have Sorbo meet you there? Or do you want to go with him and then we'll all go together?
I imagine we'd actually go back to the ship because Zag's going to be like, "Oh, I got to get my bag ready," like,
Okay.
and he's gonna
Yeah.
run to wherever he was and get all the stuff
Gear
for
up and-
exploring. Yeah.
Yes.
We
Um,
didn't
I get
bring all of our
I get a
adventuring
bunch
gear
of
to
jet fuel and
breakfast.
whatever sort of portable container I can bring it around town in,
okay. Okay.
flask or something.
Can I
There's
have
no
some?
open container laws on the grain planet? Yeah.
That's true. We're in the country now, so
Would you like that to go?
Fuck it, I drank from the bottle.
Tom's just gonna hire that droid to like follow
around and like
Yeah.
refill it. Yeah.
The droid very helpfully gives you a nice bottle to go. Nice bottle of jet juice. Tom, we're gonna say that you're gonna be you will be feeling the effects of the combined stimulant and depressant effects of this jet juice. We will determine the exact effects as they come up.
Okay.
But yeah, combined stimulant and depressant should be interesting.
If you're gonna like talk somebody's ear off, Zag's got it coming. Just saying.
Yeah.
If there's a skill I should have taken for basically drug resistance, let me know because I will take.
Basically, anything that increases your strain is good for that. I don't know
I
if
took that at the beginning.
yeah, I don't think that there are. I don't know if there are any specific talents for it, but we can look into that. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure there's folks online who have suggestions, so we can investigate. Bobkin, is there anything that you need to do before get from the ship? I assuming you have your basic.
He's
kit.
got his stuff. No, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you all go back to the ship, and Sorbo, you will go to give Yadagoshi breakfast. So Yadagoshi is in his little compartment. He is happy to receive the breakfast, and he seems to want to talk.
Oh yeah, he'll toss him the data sheet or the data pad. He's just kind of like leaned against the wall.
What kind of deal can we make?
So Ben don't remember this. Is he the professional bounty hunter, or is he the person the professional bounty hunter hired at us?
No, he
Like,
was a professional. He
He's
was part of
actually the
guild.
one that has the contract. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
I imagine that although Sorbo's not a bounty hunter full time, I imagine he's taken a contract or two. There's like standard rules about not revealing your employer and not ratting out the person who like hired you. Like, I'm not going to get information out of him, right?
If he did something like that, he would be really screwed. Yes.
Yeah. So
That's not something he's going to do.
What are the rules on like buying out someone's contract? Or like, he's been paid to go after us. If I let him go, he's still been paid to go after us. Like,
he can you can. I mean, you can definitely. Well, this is actually an underworld role. I would say.
Right.
So anybody who has underworld, if you can roll that skill, that would be helpful here.
I mean, I don't, but I can still roll.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Sorbo's surprisingly smart.
Yes.
And what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 2 per.
All right.
But he wasn't paid to come after us. Wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, technically, he wasn't paid to come after you. He was paid to go after your employers.
Yeah, we're just incidental. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So there we go. 1 success, 2 advantages. That's decent. So the deal is if he is a member in good standing of the guild of the bounty guild, if you buy out his contract, he can basically say, I'm abandoning this contract. I'm releasing the contract. I'm not going to pursue this anymore. And
All right.
if that is known, if it's known that he's basically like, I'm not completing the contract, it's not great for his reputation, but it does happen. It's accepted. Basically, he would take a rep hit, but
Fair.
the only way it really works is if you make it if he makes it known to that you have proof that he's releasing the contract. Otherwise, he can just take the money and say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
So you would have to convince him to say, hey, are you willing to take a reputation hit in return for money and walk away?
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the short version of this conversation. Is yes, there's an amount of money to buy out the contract. there's also a reputation cost associated with that. And Sorbo is willing to negotiate between those two things on the scale. Like, if the reputation hit seems like it would be more of an, or if the money thing is more of an issue, I can talk to my employers, your target. I can see how much they're willing to part with. If the reputation hit is a little bit more difficult, I can shoot you just to make it look more convincing that we chased you off.
That alerts him a little bit.
I mean, just if you don't
Yeah,
want to,
I mean,
if you
tell
don't
him
want
we're
to
on
look
the
like a
planet of
wimp,
shallow grave. Tell him
Yeah.
we're on the planet of shallow graves.
yeah, but just if you
There's
don't want to
nothing
look
but
like
dirt
a
all
wimp,
around us.
if you don't want to look like a wimp, I can definitely wing you once or twice, so it looks like you were in a real fight. I mean, well, you were in a real fight, but I'm willing to work with you. This is, by the way, 100% like this is the truth. He's not trying to intimidate. This is not a threat. This is just like, yeah, if you want to look like a a badass, then I'm happy to like put a couple holes in you before we let you go, and that way the rep hit won't be so bad. Or if the money thing's an issue, then we don't have to shoot you. Like it's your choice. Just guileless.
Yeah. Which in terms of skill, I mean, basically means it's charm. But I'm willing to. The rest of you, are you also going to participate in this conversation? With the Yadagoshi, do you have?
He's got it.
Yeah, I don't think Zag's going to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think if
I was
anything-
assuming he was just delivering breakfast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are
If-
just getting ready. He's delivering breakfast. Okay.
Yeah, if anything, I think this might be the conversation that might go through the like, okay, so these are the options I'm presenting, and then we can talk about this, and I can go talk to the people who own the ship, talk to your target. We can try and go. Sorbo's not paying his money for this. Don't be insane. No, this is so. This is more of the opening of negotiations rather than coming to a hard decision right now. But I do understand that a roll needs to be made. But I don't think everyone's involved right now, because I don't think this is like the serious negotiation part. This is just sort of the, if you have a counter offer, by all means.
Yeah.
Then I'll go take it up with the bosses.
I'm going to say, let me just see here.
So that's a question. Would Andro have gone with him? Because Andro's going back to the ship. He's probably the only one that's going.
Andro's going back to the ship for sure.
I think after this like first question, I can go and get Andro if it needs to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Money's involved.
Yeah. We've got some ideas of where things are going. Let me go get him. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: he's interested. He wants to know what kind of money we're talking about here, because he's uncomfortable with the idea of losing the reputation.
Okay. Yeah. I don't need to know the number, but does he have a ballpark figure that he's thinking of that I can bring with?
Here's the problem. If you noted the communications that you decoded from his email,
Yeah.
he's been promised a great deal of money to
8,000 credits.
Yeah. It's substantial.
Don't have anywhere near 8,000 credits.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
but isn't Andro like some kind of minor noble?
I think emphasis on minor at this point.
He gave it all up too.
Yeah.
So okay. So given that, Sorbo, okay, so money's an issue. Let me talk to the boss. And then he'll like leave him with his breakfast. And then this conversation will continue in a bit. I think this might be into the realm of like Sorbo's only going to have bad ideas from here on, because the good idea is probably too expensive. So he's gonna mull this over now that we both know where we stand in terms of cost.
Okay. So do you want to tell Andro like this is on the table?
Yeah, he'll go to Andro before he try and catch him before he falls asleep.
Okay. So you do catch him before he falls asleep, and he I mean, he's not as familiar with the ways of the bounty hunter, so his immediate question is, can you trust him to do this? I mean, he did try to...
I can buy him. It's kind of like trust, but it's expensive. So I wanted to give you sort of a primer on our options. Lots of flat ground outside. Shallow grave's always an option. I just putting that out there in case that's the sort of person you are. It's not my first choice, but if it's yours, then you could maybe talk to Zag or to someone else and make that happen.
There's a chapter in the book. Shallow grave is an option.
Yes.
And
How to
the
dig
other
shallow
side
grave.
of the other side of the coin is you can buy the contract, and then he won't keep following you, but someone else will put money on your head at some point again, because it seems like you've pissed off a lot of people. Middle of the road, we can push him out the airlock as we take off. Not like in space, like here. And then he's going to be abandoned on this bucolic backwater of a grain town until he can get a ride. He'll still be after you, but he won't have a ship. And that means that we'll have a head start.
Poor Andrew.
I'm not really uncomfortable with any of those options, and I'm frankly gonna...
Sleep on it. You've got some time.
Okay.
We're going to go raid some ruins, make a few friends. You take a nap.
Okay, I'll do that then.
And he's not going anywhere. He's got pancakes. He's fine. And he thinks we're negotiating. And as long as you don't go in there and tell him that you're thinking about the shallow grave option, he's gonna sit on that for a while. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Take a nap. We'll talk after.
Okay. So,
Sorbo will like double finger guns him. Like, take a nap. Yeah.
we can presume, by the way, that all the rest of you heard that exchange when talking to Andrew.
That was
Oh,
in the
okay.
hallway. Yeah, I
So-
shut the door on our friend, and then I went in the hallway, had
Yeah,
this
so-
conversation.
So yes,
Oh, well, in that case, I would say that, well, we can guarantee him. We can guarantee it pretty easily. All we have to do is record the exchange and say that if anybody comes after us, we're going to tell the guilds, give the guild video of him taking money to tank a job. He said his reputation is what he cares about, right?
This has to be public regardless. It's less a matter of tanking his reputation and more a matter of it doesn't look good to hand a job back, full stop. I just mean even if we pay him off, somebody else will get another contract at some point. I mean, unless Andrew, you want to go back home and try and make nice with whoever it is that's after you.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, in that case, enjoy your new life on the lam.
Well,
you hired excellent bodyguards. You're already making the right choices.
I don't think it's possible until... It may be possible once I have answers on this artifact and what I think hope it leads to.
Yeah, so you've got some options on how much of a head start you want and nap time to get to, and
yes,
he picks up the gun, have friends to make.
Friends to make. So the group heads on out to the ruins. You hire presumably you don't want to walk. So the option is basically to hire a speeder cab, and it's droid driven. It'll take you out. When you input the destination, you get it is an astromech driving it. When you input the destination, you get a little, and the little screen in front of the speeder translates to... Be advised, this is outside of the municipal constabulary advised area for safe travel.
We got this, little guy.
Smile just gets bigger.
Onward.
There are no cops here. Oh,
yes.
You don't say.
I mean, there's cops, but they're basically a couple of constable droids. You saw them in town. They're just like...
And this is outside their range.
This is outside their range. So off to the ruins you head. It's a short ride, relatively speaking. Speeders are fast. And you see, let's see here, there we are. You see it on the top of a hill, a few small sort of rolling valleys away from the town. These ruins, and they don't look particularly technologically sophisticated. So, you kind of, Zag, that kind of gets your attention, where they're just like, well, it doesn't look like this guy's an old,
Yeah,
like,
that's not what
ecology
they-
or anything.
That's not what they told me.
So there's a little bit of a kind of like, is there a gap in the whole of net knowledge here? Like, what is my general survey here?
Could the internet be wrong?
Could it be?
Yeah.
It could be.
No.
But you do note, Zag, you do note that it did say that the planet had been occupied for many thousands of years. So presumably there are ruins that date earlier than the urban culture which is described in the articles that you read.
Okay.
So that is a possibility. So you pull up on, and the speeder drops you off. There are no kind of closer, clear areas. It's not the speeder screen lets you know it's not allowed to go closer over, because it would be riding over the grain. So this is where it will drop you off. It can wait for you if you wish. Presumably you'll want it to wait for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna pay me in credits? Pay the droid for the ride.
Strongly depends on what the cost is.
I'm gonna say it's a backwater town. Then again, they don't get a lot of traffic. Then again, they don't get a lot of traffic. So it's about 10 credits.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorbo will take care of it. Okay, so Sorbo picks up the cost of the ride. That'll be another 5 credits if you want him to wait.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so 15 credits total,
Yep.
not counting the ride back.
Fair.
So that's that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Something I said it brought up before. When we were on the ship, we got some loot last week or last session that we did not divide up, and we probably should do so very quickly.
That is true.
I put it all in RPG sessions if people want to look at it.
Right.
I was thinking I was just going to take the goggles and the grenades.
Oh, I see why it's priority to divide this up, because you're probably carrying some of it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and also one of it's armor, so I was thinking somebody might want some armor.
That is true. One of them is armor. It is. I'm gonna say, however, that the armor is sized for an Aqualish and also reeks to high heaven. So I'm gonna say that the armor is not available to be worn in this particular case.
Okay.
You'll need.
Well,
that
I'll
later.
take the goggles and whatever the grenades do, I'll carry them around.
I do think that there was someone else who had some interest in the grenades, so I want to make sure
Oh,
we're
okay.
clear.
Well,
I'll put it out there. Does anybody want the grenades, or you gonna take the grenades? What's the deal?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So
Bugs gun protectively.
yes. So Tom, you now are the proud owner of a set of snooper goggles and 3 prism smoke grenades, which
I have no idea what any of these things do.
Oh, the prism grenades is what the Aqualish threw, and it made it harder to shoot into the cloud of.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't throw them around Sorbo. He gets very annoyed.
So while you're all dismounting and kind of gearing up and everything, Bobkin, you can't help but think you noticed something. You think you see it out of the corner of your eye as you're waiting around for everybody else to dismount to get off and kind of. Tom's like, well, where am I going to put these damn grenades? Like, I don't have a bandolier. And you're just kind of like waiting around, and kind of you look up at the ruins, and you think you see a figure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, up in the tower, you think you see a figure.
Jedi's and their friggin' visions.
Well, yeah. Is that what
It
this is?
definitely feels. You feel the pull of the Force.
Purple dice, click it once.
Yep.
And then click the roll dice.
And then click the roll dice button.
All right.
Okay, so there we
Hey.
go.
Oh,
So
my
there we
lord.
go. After all that, 4 successes, 2 advantages. Yeah, you didn't just feel something. You felt something that felt like the presence of your former master.
Ah. Well.
You know, this is very disturbing to you because you know for a fact that your former master is dead. You buried her.
Well.
Force ghosts, man.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's time to go up there.
Yeah. So, but just a little tidbit there. Sort of in terms of in character, you've never heard of a force ghost. Like you don't know that there was such a thing.
Okay.
It's not something that you.
So probably some reason he wants to go up there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that it's just like,
Yeah,
oh, it's a
this
force
is not
ghost.
something where you're like, oh, this is old hat.
This is
Yeah.
this is all that. It's just like,
Okay. Yeah.
how can that be her? It can't be her.
Well,
So,
gotta go. Yeah.
So trudging up the hill you go. And everybody trudges up the hill and looking at the ruins. Zag, you would estimate that these ruins are probably about 2,000, 2,500 years old, something like that.
Okay.
So again, obviously from something older than whatever fate befell this planet. Potentially destroyed at the same time. But just
Yeah.
a building that dates back older than that.
Gotcha.
In fact, I would say, Zag, as you get closer, you see that there's some patterns that indicate kind of something that could have definitely been. Some of the rubble that you see out on the fields looks like, oh, that was thrown clear by a blast wave.
Yeah.
This was blown up. This definitely some bad things befell this. So you get on closer, and at this point, you guys are kind of walking up this pathway. Obviously, people have come here before, but it doesn't look like people have come here before that recently. Everybody roll me perception. With no, just straight perception. No difficulty. Okay.
We're all on top of this.
You're on top of this. So everybody knows what the hell's going on.
I mean, when there's no
Yeah.
difficulty dice, it's a little easier.
It is definitely
Yeah.
easier. So the first thing you notice is there are a couple of small bones that are strewn by the side of the trail leading up to these ruins. The next thing you notice are a bit of pelt, like ravaged, torn apart pelt from
Ooh.
some unfortunate little creature.
So that's not thousands of years old.
No, that's definitely more recent. And the third thing you notice is a growl.
Oh.
And then as you kind of are walking towards this archway, you see several fairly large creatures moving out from behind rocks and parts of the darker parts of the ruins.
Well, time to get the sticks out.
Do I know what these are?
These appear to be draws. Draws are not native to this planet. Draws are bred for their pelts. Draws shouldn't be bred for their pelts because they're extremely dangerous and they have a tendency to escape into the wild when you raise them for their pelts. They're dangerous creatures. So, with that said,
They're worth money, is what you're saying.
that's true. They are worth money. They are worth money.
Not after they are filled with a bunch of blaster holes.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Sorbo will very carefully reach up and turn his gun off of auto fire.
Yes. So one of them, who's standing up on the top of the ridge, who appears to be a little bit bigger than the rest, makes a sound, kind of a, and they appear to, as a unit, as a group, as a pack, move to attack you. So it's time for initiative. The next thing we have to tackle.
Yeah. How do we do that?
All right. So starting initiative rolls. So we're now starting initiative rolls. So you pick character, and you, in this case, you will roll. They did not surprise you, so I believe cool is the skill that you want to roll. So everybody roll
Cool?
against their cool. Yes,
It's cool. All right.
cool. So it is an unopposed roll. You just roll your cool.
Ah,
All right. And I cannot roll that. Add an NPC. Go. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that is initiative. So basically, you all managed to go before the draws, which is good for you. Okay.
The alternatives.
All right. So the four of you see the draws. They basically, as a pack, come at you. So they are going to close as fast as they possibly can. And of course, once they get engaged with you, they're going to be doing very bad things to you with teeth and claws.
how many are there in total?
There are 3 in total.
Okay.
However, they are fairly large and tough looking. It's kind of around the size of a small lion, so that should give you some perspective. Who wants to go first, and what is it that you want to do?
I'm gonna bash him with a stick.
First?
Okay.
Go after the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorrow's got the big gun. I think he should go first.
Let them go
was gonna
first.
say.
Yeah.
Before we close to melee, let me get at least a shot or 2 in, because
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think Sorbo's going first, and that nice, aggressive, obvious target that seems to be, for lack of a better term, the pack leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
He did that. The one with the nicest looking pelt. We're gonna try very hard not to spoil it.
Okie doke. So you will be rolling with you're shooting your blaster, so you're using ranged heavy. Your difficulty is 2 from this range.
All right.
Are you taking a maneuver to aim, or are you presumably
He's not moving, so yeah, I presume if I have a maneuver, I'll use that to aim.
okay? So add a boost die
Okay.
for the aiming.
All right. It still says I'm rolling initiative.
Oh, sorry.
We should probably stop initiative.
Stop initiatives.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Good.
1 success and 2 advantages. That's what you need. That's good. So you open up. I believe is your trigger for auto fire 2 advantages? Am I correct in remembering that?
It is.
Okie doke.
See. Oh, I need to go pull up the book for that because I don't actually remember the rules. But what other things can I spend advantages on in ranged?
You can depending on. I mean, there's you can push a crit on them. A crit will, because they're just beasts. The crit will potentially kill them instantly. So that's one thing you can do with it.
Sounds like a good option.
It's potentially a good option. It basically, in this case, means you pour the entire, rate of fire into the one creature. So instead of just spreading it around, you just keep it on that target.
And then, hang on 1 second. I'm looking up auto fire as a thing because that's in the main book. Auto fire lets me walk it to another target, right? I think I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was what my point. It's kind of like if you do
Yeah.
auto fire, you're spreading it between targets. If you do this just the crit, you're focusing it on the one target. You're more
Yeah,
likely.
I think I'll go
potentially-
with that then. If I've got the opportunity to try and force a crit on this, then I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you have the 1 success. What is the damage on your weapon?
Damage on my weapon is where are you? Damage 7.
All right, so that's 7 plus 1 is 8. So that's 8 damage that you're on it, and you're critting it.
Wow.
Okay. So one of them leaps off the arch and goes like straight for you and is clearly like going to close very quickly. It leaps onto a boulder, leaps off that boulder, and looks like it's going to close to engage with you as you open fire on it. And basically your shots go up, tracking it as it goes, and it lands literally at your feet and slumps dead immediately.
At which point, Sorbo releases his traditional battle cry. We're gonna be rich!
Who would like to go next now that one of them is down?
I
Actually,
think Zach.
do you mind if I go? Simply because I'm gonna have to step away in a minute here.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. Tom is going to scramble back behind Bobkin, so Bobkin is sort of in front of him, between him and the lion monsters. He's going to take a quick swig of jet fuel and then start pouring blaster fire downrange.
Okay. All right.
So it's difficulty 2?
It is difficulty 2, yes.
Okay.
We'll say the quick swig is jet fuel is an incidental.
Well,
So-
it's 0 successes,
Oh,
but 1
geez.
triumph.
Okay. Well, a triumph does count as a success. So
Oh, okay.
so you do actually get to to hit the creature with that. Also, I can't help but notice but one threat. So I have an idea for that threat, but first, the triumph. The triumph actually has also can crit something. It also can add factors to the situation. I mean, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add in particular to this.
Not really, no.
Okay, so then you just want to crit the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the one coming from underneath the arch coming after its pack leader and fire away at that. And the threat, by the way, is that you basically get behind Bobkin and you shoot over his shoulder. And blaster bolts are actually quite loud if they get fired next to your ear. So Bobkin, it rings your bell a little bit. So you'll be any sensory checks that deal with hearing you'll be with a black die for the next round or so. So that falls on you. So sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that is the threat. So what is the damage, Tom, on your blaster pistol?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is 6, and then it says crit 3.
Crit 3, and you didn't get you don't get it. So you can get the crit because you got the triumph.
Oh, I thought you said I did get the crit.
You can get the crit because you got the triumph. That's what you want to use it for. So yes. So
Okay.
that's fine. So basically you get a crit on that one, and you just basically swig at jet shoes. Bogdan's like but then you flatten another one. So much for these intimidating creatures. The third one is coming out of that little cave in the ruins, and it is kind of comes out and it kind of stops. It kind of skids to a stop when it watches the other two go down. It's like it's still snarling. Bobkin, do you want to attack that one?
Yeah, I can't do anything with force. I just have to hit it with a stick, right?
Yeah, you just have to hit it with a stick.
All right.
Damage the pelt. Sorry.
Okay.
So choose the skill. What am I looking
Choose
at?
melee is the skill that you want.
Melee. There we go.
And your difficulty is 2. So 2 purple against your melee.
So 2 purple. Boom. Boom. Roll dice. Let's see what happens.
Okay. 4 successes and 3 threats. All right. So, wow, you're giving me a lot of interesting stuff to work here with today, folks. So let's see. So your stun club does, let me see, damage of +3. Yeah, wow. Let's see. Your pulse, it's a total of 6. So that really rings its bell. That is for sure. All right. So you give it whack, 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 or just the one. I was assuming you're swinging with the one. So you
I will be back in a few minutes.
Okay, so you swing with one, you make contact. You cannot stun it because you didn't get enough advantages or a triumph to activate the stun quality. But you do really ring its bell. You clock it basically on the jaw and the side of the head, and it kind of pours stuff comes out of froth pours out of its mouth, and it kind of blunts it to the side, and it's obviously a little bit shaken up. The threat is in the form of, as you close with it and you're engaged with it, you whack it, and then you see 3 more sets of eyes in the cave where it emerged from.
Wonderful.
Which you are now directly in front of.
Uh-huh.
So that is that. So with that, the 3 in the cave.
Hold on.
Yeah, Zag.
Sorry, I haven't gone yet.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You go
Yeah.
first.
I'm actually. Go ahead.
All of us having our initiative. Oh yeah, we all have
Yeah.
initiative before.
Y'all have initiative before them. Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my pocket blaster, set it to stun,
Okay.
and then shoot the one that Bobkin just hit.
Okie doke. Very good.
Make things easy.
Make things easy.
Oh, jeez.
4 successes
More
and
threats.
and more threats. Okay.
That's 5 damage on that gun.
Okie doke. So it's 5 damage on it, but in this case it's doing strain, but that's okay. Because for these creatures, there is no sort of strain. It's an incidental effect. There's no difference between strain and wound threshold. Their strain is their wound threshold. So that one slumps down. It's not dead, but it is effectively stunned. The threat... Bobkin, I'm really picking on you today. The threat is that when it goes down, it basically is kind of it's to the side. Bobkin, you're kind of like moving to the side, and when it goes down, it kind of slumps down right next to you, and that causes you to kind of step back away from it. But that means that you are at a disadvantage to dodge from the things that are coming out of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the situation you are in. It basically, like, it goes down, and now you're like, oh, now I am directly in front of the mouth of the cave. All right. Now, I believe the other 3 can go.
Yes.
So those 3 are coming out of the cave. It is a narrow enough cave opening that I'm going to say only one of them is going to be able to get in position to attack you this turn. But the rest of you see 3 of them come out of the cave. 2 of them kind of scramble out to the side of the opening, trying to get past each other, and the 3rd one comes for Bobkin. All right. So I cannot select him. Where are they? There we go. So that's 1 success and 2. 1 success. No, 2 successes, 1 threat. Okay. All right. So, so they also get some threat, and what happens basically is Bobkin, one of them comes out and just really just rakes its claws across you. You do have some armor, which absorbs some of it, and your soak is 4, which means you take 3 wounds from that. So you are down 3 wounds. So from 13 to 10. So that is what you take. So, all right. So that is happening. You take that, and then that wound basically across sort of like partially armor, partially the side of sort of your flank. As you kind of step back, the threat that they take is that the other 2, in the process of getting out of the cave, put themselves in prime position to be shot at. So now we are back to the top of the round, and who wants to go first?
I mean, I will definitely go first again if no one else has a...
By all means.
Yes.
All right. As an incidental action, can I take a picture of this to send to Lena? Of like the one that I took out that's at my feet right now.
You absolutely can take a picture of it. Yes.
Cool. We're not going to send it right now. That would be insane to send those during combat.
It would be insane to send a picture in the middle of combat. To take one is
taking
perfectly...
the picture is but in the moment, yeah. And then have these all 3 emerged from the cave?
They have all emerged from the cave. One of them you cannot shoot at because Bobkin is between you and it. I mean, you could, but
not with that attitude.
It would be, it would be, let us say it would be dangerous for you to shoot that one.
That's different than can't.
That's true. I'd
just like to point out that dangerous for Bobkin is different than can't.
That's true.
But no, I will do my best to try and hurt one of the other ones before it gets to flank him.
Nobody
Okay.
has any strain. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's not
But
gonna
yeah,
one shot him.
I mean, we one shotted the first two.
No.
No, he's not gonna one shot Bobkin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I am yet again going to attempt it's the same shot, I assume.
It is the same shot, yes.
All right. So I'm not shooting the one that would be dangerous. I'm shooting one of the other ones to try and keep it from dogpiling or whatever these are piling on Bobkin.
Draz piling.
Yes. I'm assuming because I took the picture, I don't actually have time to aim.
That's true. That was
All right.
maneuver.
It's important.
All right.
So this time with no boost die. Ooh, that could have gone better.
Okay, yeah, two
It's
failures.
covering fire.
It's covering exactly.
I'm
Meant to do that.
scaring it off.
Covering fire.
If I shoot it, I'll damage the pelt. I'm just trying to scare them off until our melee combatant can
All right, so two failures. So your blaster bolts hit high. They blow some stone off the wall, but nothing appreciable.
Yeah, I'm no stormtrooper.
You're no stormtrooper. Okay, who would like to go?
He's trying to take a picure at the same time.
Exactly. That's probably was probably the problem.
The camera's like hold with like two fingers. Yeah.
You're one-handing it with the rifle. Never a good idea.
Selfie mode.
Okay. So that was Sorbo. His shot goes wide. Who wants to do something now?
I'll take a shot at one of the two that's not dangerous for Bobkin.
Okay.
Except I'll switch it back to regular damage and not just stun.
Okay. All right. So it is the same difficulty for you. It is 2 purple.
Yeah. Yay.
2 successes, 1 advantage. Okay, excellent. So that's 7. Pewy. Okay. Or no, it's 5. Yeah, 5 plus 2, right? 7. Yeah. Okay, so that another one of them. It gives out a strange sound that's between a yowl and a yelp, and it doesn't appear to be deceased, but it definitely is kind of rolling around on the ground and yowling and making a horrible sound. It's effectively out of the combat at this moment. It looks like it's trying to find a way to get out of here. Okay. So that is you. So you get a very palpable hit on one of the draws. And who wants to go next?
Gonna bash it.
Gonna bash one. Okay. So presumably you're gonna bash
How
the
many
one
are left.
There are effectively 2 left in the combat.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bob presumably you're gonna bash the one that's straight in front of you.
Yeah.
I didn't give you the option before. I will give you the option to, if you want to hit with both clubs, you can do that. It will be 1 extra difficulty to do that. So it would be 3 purple instead of 2.
3 purple. All right.
Yeah. So that does make it more difficult. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Well,
it's a risk.
3 purple. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Okay, no, still came through with 1 success. So you are able to, with that 1 success, you are able to hit them hit the one in front of you with both sticks. So you basically bump on the top of its skull. And with your there's no advantages, so you can't trigger your stun, but it's still that's enough basically it causes it to also kind of like, and it kind of backs up, cowed, and kind of slumps down. It is bleeding profusely from its ears and its head, and it appears to be out of the combat as well.
Drum roll, please.
There you go.
Okay, and I believe that leaves Tom.
Yes. I mean, I am not. If this thing is still like charging and trying to bite, I will shoot it, but I'm not going to shoot it if it looks like it's going to run away.
There was 1 left in the combat. I think that a kind of a morale roll is called for. Morale is not well defined in this game, but I'm going to call it a roll against cool.
These are animals. They don't have the greatest combat discipline.
Exactly. And that looks like it's I would say that's so that's 1, Right. So yeah. So I'm gonna say that the last one basically breaks and runs and crawls back into the cave.
Well, we killed his whole family and left one survivor, so I don't see any way that this backfires on.
One
Technically,
was left to tell the tale.
Yeah, we left.
Technically, a couple of them are left alive.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's 3 in total that are still alive, but
Mhm.
are not interested in fighting anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have beaten up the wild animals, and combat is over.
Selfie time.
Selfie time.
Now I am actually sending these. And,
Okay.
And making sure that Lena know that no one got hurt and that we've already turned a profit on this ruins thing. I don't care how good the concessions are. You absolutely should be here. It's so much better than sports.
How is the game going?
And there's Ronco settling under that ball. And he misses! He misses. Well, you know, he's still a rookie, folks. He has a long way to go. He has a long way to go.
The announcer's just brutal in this game. He's really nasty. Meanwhile, you're sitting there watching the game, eating some kind of local nuts, and there is a message on your comlink from Sorbo. The message is kind of semi-blurry, but it's basically Sorbo's, Sorbo, his hand, and like a large creature.
They found things to fight.
And you see, like, you can see Bobkin in the background, like, hitting something, like, with a stick, while there's, like, more kind of flying out behind him as if they're, like, some kind of coordinated, it's like acrobatic act. It's an interesting picture. Once again, the composition could be a little bit better, but other than that,
needs work. Yeah.
But other than that, so that's your update on what's happening.
Score is still 0-0, but the nuts are fabulous.
So that's the message you get back, without a hint of worry.
We're checking in. We're checking in. This is what you do.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, what are you going to do? This decision time. What are you going to do with the ones that are severely wounded but out of commission, including the stunned one? The ones that were severely wounded but conscious crawled back into the cave, where they're kind of like growling and whimpering.
I want to do medicine on these poor critters. They were just trying to defend what they have claimed as theirs. But
I want to do medicine on these poor critters. They're clearly suffering, and we should end it.
I want to continue.
I have this convenient applicator.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. You don't want to ruin the pelt.
Sorry, Bobkin. What did you want to do?
The reason I was going up the hill.
Yeah. So you're gonna leave these creatures to the rest of them to decide their fate and continue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead. I've got this.
Oh.
Zag,
Okay.
is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
He is holding the gun. It is very obvious what he's planning.
Oh no, Zag knows, but Zag
Yeah.
wants to go further in too with Bobkin, so he's like,
Yeah, I got this. Yes.
Okay.
Sorbo will very humanely make sure that we are turning a profit on this by bringing the pelts back.
Okay.
So, I don't think there's a need to linger the camera on there. I think there's just like follow everyone into the thing. There's some gunshots in the background. Don't pay attention to those. Everything's fine. He'll be along directly.
Make sure you tell him about the rabbits first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The other thing he's going to do is, if he can, I don't know if we have portable light with us. I assume we have some basic gear, but I don't know.
Yes, you have basic, yeah.
That cave,
Mhm.
if he just like shines a light into it, he's not trying to get close to it. They're clear.
Yeah.
There's some, but is that like a den that goes back 20 feet and stops, or is that the entrance to the Underdark? Like, is there a reason we might want to go in there? Does it look man-made, or does it look dug out?
It looks like, I mean, it's hard to see farther back than about that distance, than about 20 feet. It definitely has some like bones and some bedding and stuff strewn around in there. It is possible it goes farther. It's hard to tell. It looks like it's partially ruined and partially excavated, or at least
It's not obviously like perfectly cut marble stairs descending down a hallway with sconces on both sides. Like,
no. There appears to be a stone floor, like it's basically like an opening to a basement. In fact,
Okay.
if you look around that wall, you would guess that someone chiseled away an opening to this before. Like that's why there's an opening into that underground chamber. Basically, that someone at some point opened that hole up, and not an animal, a person with tools.
Fair.
Okay.
He's going to spend some time just walking around and sort of examining the ruins and trying to get a handle on, are there other places where one might do such things to get into the presumed basement? Are there areas that look like somebody else has reworked them recently and actually, done some looking around and going over stuff? So we don't need to get into this, but
Yeah.
Serbo's just trying to get the lay of the land while everyone else is off doing important things.
So you're getting the lay of the land and hopefully keeping an eye on that cave to make sure that they don't get any funny ideas.
Yes. The secondary purpose is there another way out of that cave?
Yes. Okay. Oh, by the way,
as long as they don't come out this hole, and I know where they are, can they get out somewhere else?
By the way, I should specify the one who was stunned. Do you just let the one who was stunned eventually get up and go back in the cave, or what? Or do you what do you do with that one?
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, so that one's
any
dead.
Any of them that are outside and not able to defend themselves are resources now.
Okay. There is some definite growling from inside the cave. As you know, but they don't appear to be ready to come out anytime soon.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I believe that Bobkin, you were definitely going deeper into the ruins or going further along to closer up to this tower. Zag, you said you were going along. Tom, what are you doing?
I am going to. I am flipping through the settings on my new goggles, testing them out in this thing. See what I pick up.
Okay.
Can I see through the wall to this?
I mean, if there's anything interesting and worthwhile here, this does not look like a ruin built by particularly technologically advanced people, but maybe they were using it for cover or something. So I'm just kind of flipping around and seeing if there's anything.
So flipping around, EM, radiation, that kind of thing, radio signals, heat signatures.
And I'm kind of not expecting anything, so it's more just idly flipping.
Okay, so idly flipping. I'll tell you what you do pick up, and that is more heat signatures down there of potentially smaller creatures, like potentially young.
Okay, so smaller of these things, not like rats.
Yeah, not like rats, like smaller versions of the draws.
Okay.
So you do pick that up. But Bobkin, you ascend into the tower. You find a set of stairs. You're aware of Zag kind of following up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way up the stairs, and they're not exactly steady. I mean, they're stone, but they're basically cracked away in certain places. They're a little bit, I will say, unsafe. Finally, you reach an area. You can see the platform where you thought you saw. There's an exterior platform that kind of faces out over the valley, where you saw the image of your master.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's what you believe. The problem is that there are no stairs between you and that platform. So if you're going to get up there, it's going to need to be by some other means. It is potentially climbable / jumpable, if you're feeling particularly confident in your acrobatics and or athletics.
All right. Is that the skill?
There are two possible skills that you can do here. One, or pardon me, it's all athletics. Pardon, there is no acrobatics. Sorry, it's too many systems I run. So athletics basically. So athletics would be what you would use to get up there.
Okay.
So presumably, kind of jump the gap and climb up.
Right. So athletics. And,
pardon me. No, the rest there is coordination. Coordination is jump. Athletics is climb.
All right. So now I gotta. I already clicked on athletics, but I didn't roll yet.
You didn't roll yet, so you can change your mind if you want. You have to do that. It's a little, you have to get rid of the dice. But I mean,
You
it's-
click on the dice and they disappear.
they
off the-
disappear. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how you clear them out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But so it's up
Cool.
to you. Do you want to climb? Do you want to jump
Well, you said athletics or what?
or
Or
coordination? It's very honestly for you. It's half a dozen, 6 to 1, half a dozen to another. They're both threes. You don't have any training in either of them.
All right.
So they're both
we'll do coordination. Do
coordination
I
to
have to,
jump.
any
So-
purples or anything?
Yes. So you add 2 purple dice to this.
2 purples. And watch him fall on his head. Let's see what happens. Hey, look at that! Wow.
Look at that. So, so you and Zag, you see Bob can jump. Maybe a
It's like
tiny,
there's a little flip.
yeah.
Flare on
Maybe,
it.
and Zag, you're maybe like, that's maybe a tiny bit of a too good of a jump. You're just like, huh. So I'm not saying you have the force ability. I'm just saying that the force, this is a very little 1% boost. So Zag, you gonna follow him?
He takes a couple steps back, rubs his hands, and he's also going to try and coordination jump.
Okay. 3 successes and 1 threat. Okay, so you jump up as well. You're like, yes. It's like that wasn't tough at all. And then you turn around and you watch like the part of the platform you were just on kind of crumble away. So the trip down will be harder than the trip up.
Fine.
But you're both up here.
The trip down will actually be very easy. It's just the safety that'll be real problem. The trip down will be easy as hell.
Yeah, down's always easy.
Down's always easy.
So you make your way through a portal that leads to a platform at the top of the tower, and it kind of overlooks the valley below. You can see the city and such as it is the town and the spaceport in the distance, in the far distance. There doesn't appear to be anybody up here though.
Is it a perception skill? Is it? I mean, he's looking for somebody. What should I?
This is something. You get the sense that this is something that is not a matter of your physical senses.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of the force, if it is what you think it is.
Right. So I don't know.
So,
yeah. What do
I would say it's still. I would still let you do perception. I think that's fine.
Perception would be the one. Okay.
Yeah. Zag, are you trying to do something? Or are you just kind of watching?
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what Bobkin came up here for, but he is
Okay.
definitely trying to examine, any markings. He's trying to, kind of etch out the detail, draw the details on his pad and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna say.
perception. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
so go ahead and roll your perception.
No. No
I'm,
purples.
I'm gonna say. I'm going to assign you 1 purple to this.
1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So you kind of look around and you look around more slowly, and then you kind of just do something you haven't done in a long time, which is kind of close your eyes and try to reach out a little bit. And when you open your eyes again, the figure of your master, Dina Vora, is standing some distance away from you. She has sort of a glow around her. She's clearly translucent.
Mm.
And at first you think, it actually does occur, like, is this a hologram? Like, what?
Well,
And she is standing kind of very translucent and pale looking and just kind of staring at you. She has a slightly sad look on her face.
well, how would he? What would he have called her? would it just be master? Or
Master.
would it-
Master.
Well, then, yeah, definitely greeter.
Mm-hmm. So you greet her master.
Yeah.
Zag, you hear him. You hear Bobkin say, as you're examining kind of the walls and the structure and kind of the mold, the symbols on the molding. You hear.
Good luck ever getting Zag to leave you alone after that.
Yeah, you hear him say master, and you
Yeah,
turn
it's
around and you don't see anything, but you do hear. You broke your promise.
But I'm back to it now.
Follow the path. Preserve what can be preserved.
I will.
Seek the heart. Zag, you hear someone talking. You do
Yeah.
not see them, but you
Oh, no,
hear
no.
them.
Zag is not moving. He has the data pad and the pen, and he is just watching Bobkin and listening to everything that's happening because he doesn't know what's going on. And right now, this is much cooler than the ruins.
Is there
Remind
anything
me,
else?
Where is Tom in all this? Really quickly.
Tom was checking out things with his goggles. He's not up here.
Got it. Okay, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not witnessing this specifically. Got
Oh
it.
yeah, no, I wasn't making that jump, and so I'm just kind of wandering around.
Tom goes up that far and says, "Oh no."
I was just double checking to make sure I had everything in my head.
Yeah. Bobkin, is there anything else you wish to say?
If she's wow. I'll do so. I'll follow it.
Well, it's not. She's not going anywhere. She just
No.
standing there.
But I mean, no.
he'll
What she
say.
said, I will follow the
He's
path.
agreeing with the instruction.
Okay, got it. I got
Right? Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Zag, are you going to ask any questions? Are you going to ask what's going on, or are you just kind of just sitting there, like taking it all down?
No. Like I said, he's like kind of frozen and just like, Bobkin, who are you talking to? And why do I hear it?
She's still there?
Pass on what you have learned. And she seems to be indicating, looking at Zag, who is just kind of looking dumbfounded in this general direction.
Oh yeah. Well, what did she just say? I couldn't really.
Pass on what you have learned.
Oh, okay. I will do so. Yes. How are you here?
What would be appropriate to say? What would make sense for her? The cosmic force is eternal, and I am one with it. You will not see me again.
Oh, that was my next question. Well.
So she seems to fade away gradually, and she still has that sad look on her face, but it maybe has changed a little bit. It's not quite as sad as it was.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you go. And yeah, now my buddy's standing there looking all confused, isn't he?
Yes, he
No,
is.
actually, it went from confusion to now excitement. It's like, pass on what you've learned.
I heard it too.
So
Wrote it down right here.
You're locked in. You can't get out of it now.
Oh man.
So Zag, there are probably a couple things you can infer from this. I will leave that up to you to decide how much.
Okay.
Now y'all have to get down. So how are you going to go about that?
We can't go back the way we came, can we?
Well, you
No,
can.
Zach broke.
You can, but it's going to be a tougher jump.
What are my other options?
Your other option is you could call for help, phone a friend.
Phone a Sorbo.
Yeah, phone a Sorbo. So
Unfortunately, I think Zag's choice is to try and jump back regardless because he's not a good climber.
Yeah.
okay, all right,
Yeah. I guess we got to go back.
all right. So it's 3 difficulty now instead of 2.
And we're looking at what was
Coordination.
Coordination.
it? Coordination. And you said it was 3.
It's 3 difficulty. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
Damn! Wow.
He
You do
did
it?
it, but he broke it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And
All right.
I'm gonna fall on my head. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, not good.
Okay. So what happens is Zag gets back and is like, the jump wasn't that hard, and because you have 2 threats, it actually collapses more stone. And then so that when Bobkin goes, he's like, okay, and then you do not make it, Bobkin.
Yep.
You basically actually, but you don't have a failure. So I'm gonna say that you're like, all right, let me see if I can do this, and you go to jump, and then as you get to the lip, more stone falls away, and so you stop and scramble back up. So you don't fall, but you're not across, and the gap is now even bigger. This building is not entirely stable.
No.
From across the complex, yelled like echoey, I don't think this building's entirely stable, guys.
More of it crumbles.
Use the force, Bobkin. Use the force.
Oh man. I guess it just try to climb down then.
Yep, that's probably your best bet at this point. Try to
Yeah.
climb down. So do an athletics check. 3 difficult.
Athletics?
3 difficulty.
Okay.
Take away the blue.
Wait, is it
Do
3
I-
difficulty to climb?
Do a
now?
flip.
It is no. Pardon me. You're right. It's 2 difficulty to climb. Well, no, from here. No, that's right. That's fine. It's 2 difficulty to climb down. It's okay.
Cool.
2 difficulty.
All right.
Sorry, Bobkin, I'll catch up to you.
You might have to catch him.
Okay. So 3 successes, 1 threat. Basically, what happens here is that you manage to climb down, and when you get to the bottom, you see that there's a little hole nearby, and in the hole you see some little red eyes and this little looking up at you.
Jesus.
So
I want one.
so it's a little one. What do you do?
Little.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna kill it. I'm just gonna go away from it.
Okay. So yeah. So you want to hightail it out of there. So give me an athletics roll with 1 difficulty and just run out of there.
With 1 difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. So you manage 1 success. You managed to run out of there and link up with Zag again, and it's like, oh, by the way, there's another entrance. Little Draz coming out of it. As you ran away, the Draz was like pawing at you, trying to get out of the hole. So you all get back to Sorbo and Tom. Sorbo, I'm assuming that you have skinned at least something by now.
He's if he hasn't, he's certainly loaded them down onto our taxi. He's probably just
Okay.
carried them down onto the taxi.
Probably have a professional do it. Have a professional do it.
Yeah.
You do need Tom's help a little bit with that, though, because as we have discovered, you look like you're strong, but you actually don't.
Yeah. This is a 2-person job.
Two-person
and
job.
Also, someone needs to convince our cabbie that this is not
Yeah.
an issue.
I don't know that I can because I don't know that it's a great idea.
No. These are worth a mint. I mean, in good condition. Nice shooting, by the way.
Who on this planet is going to be buying furs? Look around you.
It's a backwater hovel. Who wouldn't buy furs?
Also, it doesn't have to be sold on this side.
They don't have the credits to buy them.
They have the credits to skin them, and then I can load them onto the ship, and we can take them somewhere. The ships are for.
This- Whatever. Fine.
Look, we won't put one in your seat, okay? So yes, Sorbo's going to try and have your help hauling these.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will help him.
All right.
Cool.
So with some difficulty and grumbling,
Yeah.
you help him.
I finished the bottle first because
That's fine. Everyone gets their motivation somewhere.
too much sobriety is sinking through.
So I was busy admiring the engineering and architecture. What are those two doing?
Crumbling things. That's all from what I heard.
Yeah, there's a lot. You heard a lot of stone
Yeah.
crumbling down. You didn't hear any
I don't
screaming.
know. Maybe they're graffitiing the place.
All right.
Um,
No screaming, no yelling, no calling for help. So
But
yeah.
as you get the last one onto the speeder. By the way, the droid has everything is calculated ahead of time. The droid has a rate for this. Yeah.
excellent. This is
It'll be 7 credits extra to haul them back on top of the 10 to take you back to town.
a bargain.
All right, so there you go. So give me another 17 credits off of your total, please.
Once we get back to town, I will tip him and just make it an even 20.
Okay. Tipping a
We're
droid.
gonna tip the droid.
Yeah, he's tipping a droid.
Why not?
You feed snacks to the pit droids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say nuts, they were like wing nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
But they're
yeah.
snacks for the pit droids.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
They like
tip
them.
good service.
They like them. So as you're throwing the last one back onto the back of the speeder, which does load down the speeder a good deal, by the way, it gets a little closer to the ground. You see Bobkin and Zag show up. I think it's safe to say that they probably look like they've seen some shit.
Zag looks too excited. He looks
Okay.
even more excited than last night.
Covered in dust and excited. Yeah.
And you know how much he bugged everybody? It's all directed at Bobkin.
So Bobkin, how are you taking this whole series of events?
Well, I've seen some shit.
Yes, you've seen some shit.
I need to go think about this.
Yeah, for sure. You will. So you've got that dealt with. And so meanwhile, Lena, it's a wonderful game. You're not quite sure you understand all the rules. You know that the home team did not win, which seems to depress the locals there. But you understand that it's a multi-day tournament, so I guess they have a chance to come back. It's unclear.
Oh, it's like cricket.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just a 7-game series.
Yeah. It goes on. Yeah, it goes on for a long time. So the match takes quite a bit of time to the point where yes, it is indeed like cricket, and eventually you're like, "Is it over soon?" But
There's
as
a lot of this.
yeah. There's a lot of rules calls, and people are like, the crowd's upset about things. They think they were robbed. There's a very excited Rhodian who's sitting next to you, who just keeps he's very angry. Very angry.
He knows
about
so many stats.
Yes.
So many.
He knows all the stats. He's like wearing the same colors as the team. It's just he's clearly into it.
Oh no, she definitely she bought a foam finger.
Yeah,
and,
so she's got that.
If she can get a hat for Sorbo, she's coming back with a hat.
Yes, they have knit hats made from the local wildlife or the local domesticated creatures. So you can get a knit hat for Sorbo. So the game, all in all, the nuts were really good. They had some kind of little dried creature on a stick, which was tasty. It was good stuff. It was a good way to spend an afternoon. And by the time you get back, the rest of the crew are back at the group are back at the ship with some large dead animals. Although, actually, wait, you probably would want to go to some place to have them dressed.
They're gonna go. Yeah, they are. They'd probably go to the market.
Yeah, so you probably go to the market, get these things dressed. You can get them dressed and taxidermied. If you just want the pelts, it'll run you 12 credits. If you want like taxidermied or something more sophisticated, it'll cost progressively more than that. What do you want out of this deal?
I mean, you probably could also sell. Speaking of what locals on a back country or backwater planet will buy, is the meat.
I'm not a trader.
You aren't.
I know the pelts are worth money. Arguably taxidermy would be worth more to the right art collector or weird wants to increase their masculinity sort of fake hunter guy.
Yes.
But that seems like a lot of time on Craigslist to try and sell this thing. And pelts, unless the person that I'm going to get these butchered would like to buy them outright, in which case I will sell him them now at cost.
He doesn't want to buy them outright.
Okay. Then pelts is fine.
Yeah,
and I don't care what happens to the rest of them. That is not the pelt. That is someone else's problem.
Okay, that's a deal that he can live with. So 12 credits for what is that? 3 or 4 pelts.
Yep.
It was 3. Yeah.
3 pelts. Yes, 3 pelts. Yep. So you have 3 draws pelts.
Excellent.
So add that to your list of kit. There's something you don't see every day.
They are treasure from a ruins.
That's right.
This
treasure
is entirely on brand.
This is they are treasure from. You did indeed explore a ruin, and the ruin had treasure in it. All right. So let's talk about Yadaguchi and the deal that was discussed with him. Andrew honestly cannot. Technically, Andrew will tell you this. I have the money. I have the money to I can give him 10,000.
Wow.
Well, don't get excited. The funds that I left my family with 10 years ago are almost depleted. There's a rainy day fund, and that's most of it. So I can do that. Again, this is not what we normally do. So what degree
I
of
recommend it?
That's a lot of credits to spend for basically a delay. It's not like he's gonna be the only bounty hunter out there.
So, I mean, what do you all want to do with him? He honestly can't make a decision on this stuff. So you all, what do you all recommend?
Speaking in my professional capacity as your bodyguard, I recommend pushing him out the airlock onto something soft, maybe 15 seconds before takeoff.
Okay.
He's not going to starve. There's lots of nice people here. One of them will have picks for the binders and can get them off. He has he'll the ability a communicator. I'm sure he has friends. He won't be happy, but none of this was going to make anyone happy. And you will have to watch over, sleep with one eye open, but you are going to do that anyway.
Yeah, don't make him dead.
Oh, no. He's a professional. He's a professional. We have an arrangement. No one's killing him. Unless that's what you want to do, in which case someone else can kill him.
No.
I brought him breakfast. I'm not killing him.
Other opinions?
I'm good with that.
Tom takes a swig of jet juice.
Yeah, while they were in the market, while Sorbo was dropping off the animals, Tom was like, all right, so how do I get more of this jet juice?
Yeah, exactly. So you get a refill of jet juice while you're in town, Tom. So and then Lena, your opinion? I don't think
Lena came and gave Sorbo his hat and went and took a nap.
No. Sorbo's speaking for the two of us as a partnership.
Yeah.
As professionals, yeah.
Lena's got space.
Something like, I bought you a hat. I have no idea who won, but I think this is the home team.
You will adjust it to a jaunty angle.
There you go. You now have a jaunty hat with a team logo from Bajic. Tribiki Town
planet. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Which really is kind of a great thing to have, honestly.
100%. No, we're keeping this.
Yeah. And then so Lena is severely space lagged, so she is going to go sleep.
Nap time. See you at dinner.
Yes. So that's done with. So basically, the general consensus is push the guy out the airlock as after you're somewhere safe. And
So yes, Sorba will take care of this. It will also not be pushing out of the airlock. It will be walking him outside
and say,
tucking enough credits into his back pocket that he can like make the phone call or whatever he needs to do, and being like, look, no hard feelings.
Wait,
sure-
why do that part? Why not the longer he's quiet, the better for us. So why not?
Because we had an like, he's a decent guy. He's just doing his job.
How do you know he's a decent guy?
Bring breakfast.
Yeah.
You think I'd bring breakfast to some jerk?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh.
They had a deal on games for the rest of the series. So here, give him that.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. No, the season tickets are going to go in the back pocket as well.
Yeah, there you go. Here you go.
Yeah, no, okay. So he will
$5
tell Tom that he's not going to give him any credits because you're right. That's clearly too far. And then he will go and do that anyway because he's a decent person.
$5 and some baseball tickets. They're
All that does is gives the other bounty hunters more time to catch up to us. But fine, I don't know about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
What you
That's
don't
fine.
know,
Yeah.
will someday catch up to
We'll
you. But
argue, yes.
someday.
But yeah, it's just going to be a this is just business conversation as he walks him off. And like you and I both know how this works. Like there's town. Here's your baseball tickets. Catch you next time.
So
Just like we caught you last time.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the plan for Yadaguchi.
Yep.
The
Before we dump him, actually,
Mhm.
are there any repairs we need to make on the ship?
Yeah. I was wondering if there was anything else that needed to be addressed. That, and also like, hey, two people who just had a religious experience inside the ruins. Is there anything else you need to do before we,
Yeah, is there anything you want to share with the group?
I was like, in my head, Zag is going to sit across from Bobkin, kind of have that like really expected look, and then right at the table,
He's
just-
also severely
he
spaced.
just
finally passes out.
out.
Finally passes out.
But yeah, there's going to be like a brief check-in, I think, with Bobkin more of just. So you two wandered off. Did you make any progress on the thing with the circle, like, or just the ruins in general? Like, how'd that go? You seem pensive.
Just the ruins in general. That's nothing on the artifact. We still have to look at that.
Fair. Nothing out of the
Oh,
ordinary.
great.
Just I've got to do some thinking.
All right. Well, you do that.
Okay. So you do some
That's
thinking.
important for people. Yeah.
So there you go. That's what Bobkin tells you.
Fine. He did specifically. There was no. I need to go spend 3 days in town talking to this guy or going to the library or whatever, which is all that Sorbo cares about.
Yes.
Like at this point, you have personal issues. That is fine. You will talk about those when you need to.
So everybody's sleep schedules being a little bit wacky. You all basically at some point crash at one time or another. Zag has already crashed on the table in the dining in the mess hall. So everybody gets some sleep. The ship gets basic refuel, and just kind of the once over. You don't actually have anything some tidying up. You don't actually have any repairs, but you make it look respectable. And indeed, the next morning, one of the tarmac mechanics comes up and lets you know imps are gone.
Oh, good.
Just got word from passing bulk freighter. So they have moved on. They departed the system. They departed
why
the
they
system.
were here?
Supposedly they're cracking down, doing some kind of patrol on in the sector, looking for pirates or something. Who
Is there a
knows?
real bad? Is there a pirate problem around here, or is it just imps sticking their nose in?
Not here. Pirates are not usually interested in grain, but they're Imperials. Any excuse to stick their nose in people's business.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, safe travels. So that is that. And now I must ask, what will you do next?
We're kind of in the same spot we were before, so.
Yes.
I don't understand why our cunning plan of checking out random ruins on a planet that we picked by accident did not immediately reveal the solution to all of our problems.
Yes.
No. What's next for Sorbo, once we're in flight, is wherever we're going, whatever we're deciding to do, that is someone else's problem. He was asked to take a look at the astrolabe thing, the orrery,
Mm-hmm.
specifically that keyhole or whatever it is. He's not going to try and disassemble it. He's not going to try and take it apart, but he is going to like go and get like his scope and his tools and like try and see as much as he can of the interior workings through that hole. He's going to get all his microelectronics kit and like do some serious looking without in any way trying to fiddle with it.
Okay.
Grab a set of Allen wrenches and like
Yeah,
try to figure out which size fits in that like hex hole.
You know,
and
we
then
ought
just
to
get like a 9-foot extension bar and just
we ought to talk to the captain, because this is like a family heirloom thing, right? We ought to find out more about the thing. You know, where it came from. Is there do we need to go to some library? I mean,
Well, we tried that before.
I know. Yeah.
Well, you did try it. You were a little bit pressed for time. If you have more focused questions you want to ask him, that might elucidate more answers.
Yeah, we need information on the thing.
And then Sorbo, Zag is going to be hanging out with you while you're doing that, talking about the runes.
oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Something to distract him while he's busy working.
Well, that's an interesting question.
Zag has already picked up Jedi robes. And he's wearing them
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting question. Bobkin, do you have any conversation with Zag before, like?
Right.
Well, yeah, because he heard.
He heard something. Yes.
He didn't see it. He didn't see anything, but he heard.
So I think that it would make sense. You might want to have a conversation.
Yeah, and basically, it's mum's the word.
As your new master, lesson one.
Yeah, right. Mum's because just
shut it. Yes.
Right. Don't say shit to nobody, because it's a dangerous predicament to be in, and they were just imps here, so we can't have that. So yeah, yeah, Bobkin's got to sit down and he's got to dwell on this and figure out what can he share, because she said pass on what you learned. Oh, shit, what the hell does he know? He doesn't know very much.
he doesn't actually know very much, or at least
No.
he certainly has put a lot out of his mind and put it aside. So, like I said, you could recover some knowledge over time.
Yeah. So he's got to figure that out and get back on the right path. But can't string this guy along and just say shut up. Can't do that. I got to figure out what can he share? What does he know? Because
So are you basically going to ask Zag for like, hey, give me some time to figure this out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Don't put it on Facebook.
Mild correction. Zag is going to be with you, and he's going to talk about all the mundane things that happened. And he's going to talk about the big clearing with all the drawings, and then he's like,
going to repeat himself again and go back over those same details.
Well, he's going to show you some of the drawings, and then when there's the not complete one, he's going to be like, moving along.
And if I may suggest, at some point, like Bothans make this sound occasionally.
So what you've got is just to set this scene very briefly. You've got the orrery like clamped into a thing so that he has his hands free.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a scope that has something that he can put down on a probe and get into there. He's very focused on this and just listening without paying attention. And you're like showing him sketches and stuff, and he's like, oh yeah. And it takes like 2 or 3 laps through your sketchbook before he realizes, wait, this sounds familiar. Like, have we talked about this before? Yeah, like, oh no, that was like 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it takes him that long to realize that you are just not sure how to stop having this conversation,
Yeah.
and also not sure how to, like you've just been drawing circles around the thing you're not supposed to talk about and outlining it in ever more detail.
Yep.
And finally, you just kind of stop it. You okay?
Now,
I'm good. I think Bobkin has some problems though.
Yeah, he said he had some stuff to work on. Yeah. Did he talk to you at all?
No, not yet. Somebody else did though.
He's making that noise again.
Tom?
Huh?
Tom?
No. I don't know who the voice was.
Sometimes you don't know who the voice is.
Was it on the ship?
No.
Was it on a communicator?
So this drawing of this ruin is really fascinating, isn't it?
No.
Flashback to Bathawui. Zag's parents is just like, what do we do with Zag? I don't know. He's a terrible spy.
And about
not
the
gonna lie,
lie.
I wasn't.
How can you be a Bothan and lie like this?
I wasn't really listening to a lot of what you were saying, and so I might be lost for context. You talked to someone?
No, I didn't.
I'm imagining this whole conversation.
Listen.
You have like a headlamp on, and you're like looking at him.
Yeah, you listened to someone.
Talking to Bobkin.
Oh, this personal stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. That's the level of engagement. He files it away under. This is clearly important to Bobkin. You clearly have like a good emotional connection with him. Like, look how much you care about our friend and his personal problems and whoever he was talking to. Like, do you need me to talk to him? Is that what this is about?
Oh, no. I'm just excited. I know he's got a lot of personal stuff he's got to deal with first, but I'm excited for after that.
Do you guys like should we get this? Do you need the same cabin? Is this what this is about? Like, are we making room?
No.
Once he's got through his stuff, you're excited for what after?
No.
Like,
It's not like the captain.
Oh,
No.
well, I mean, like, not everyone's a love him and leave him sort, but I didn't know if it was going to be a longer term thing.
Oh, no. Just I might start learning things that'll be very important later.
That does not put Sorbo's mind out of the like relationship side of things.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
If you need someone to talk to after, then Lena's an excellent choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right under the bus.
So yes.
Yes. Yeah. But I think that's basically it. Is he's purposefully not going to pry, but he is very aware that something's going on.
And
like,
Zag wants to talk about it.
Yeah, Zag is not good at hiding things.
No.
Clearly.
You have picked the only person on the ship who is probably not going to pry unless.
Well, actually, that's part of the reason he kind of picked you out of all the people. Everybody
that's
else would be like,
totally fine.
what happened? And he's just like trying to let out his excitement as he goes.
Without doing any of the things he was explicitly told not to do. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So real quick, let me give
Yeah.
hold that thought, Nick,
Yeah.
or Zag. But real quick, let me go through what Sorbo finds in his examination.
Oh, fair.
You find that the object is made out of some gold alloy that is nuclear hardened, molecularly bound.
Okay.
It's very, very tough and very dense. It would resist most blaster fire you can imagine. Like, basically, again, like you could figure out something that would crack it, but not something that would crack it without destroying it.
Yeah.
The crystal in the center, you're not familiar with this particular structure or this particular combination of mineral content, but it looks like it would be able to channel a good deal of energy through it if necessary. You could,
I was in the room when this was glowing before.
You saw it.
Okay. All right, fair.
So there's that, and then that little opening, that little hexagonal opening, it is not a data port for sure. It appears to have some kind of grooves and some kind of mechanism inside it.
It is a lock.
Yeah, you'd have to hazard a guess that it's some kind of keyhole, but it's like no mechanism you've ever seen.
Okay. And it looks like from all of the various work that's been done around there, that more than one person has tried to pick this thing.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and you think someone took a plasma torch to it at one point. Didn't really seem to impress the mechanism. So that gives you some idea.
That's a low skill option. Like there are better
things. Yeah, that was a stupid thing to do.
Yeah. But that's frustration there. That's someone who's at the end of the day and they nothing worked and they're just like, all right, well, fine then.
Exactly.
We need a sonic screwdriver.
You do need a sonic screwdriver. What a shame that we don't have one. Okay, so Zag, you had a thought.
Yeah, my thought, because Zag's now more excited about all the things, he's going to try and touch it again. And he would like to try and reach out, even though he doesn't know how or anything like that.
And Zag breaks the artifact. Game over.
Yes. Oh. It detonates with the force of 1,000 suns. No, it's a hell of an anti-tamper device. Anyway,
yeah. So why has nobody else triggered it?
Yeah. So you touch it again. You know, it's funny. What would we want you to roll? I would say that this is also a matter of rolling perception. I'm gonna go say that perception is sort of the default.
Okay.
So roll me.
And we find the force in the existence around us.
Yes, exactly.
And what's the difficulty?
I'm going to say it is 3.
Ooh.
Holy.
Wow. Okay.
Very good.
Okay. You definitely feel that the heart of this thing is the crystal, but that crystal is kind of representative of something. It's not. It's a stand-in. It's a facsimile for something. The crystal glows, absolutely glows. And you know 2 things. You know that this can be activated with what you're doing now, and you know you can't do it by yourself.
We have to go get Bobkin.
Bobkin is sleeping.
Wake him up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Bobkin down the hall.
So you go down the hall, Bobkin. Bobkin, you wake up, and there is Zag again.
Standing over your bed, staring
inches from you. Yes, exactly.
We gotta go touch the disc again.
Bobkin's like, did we miss the part where I said I had some things to think about?
I think we could reach out to it, but it's gonna take more than just me. And you were the one with training, so.
Those are things you weren't supposed to talk about.
Oh no, that's only to him in his room.
All right. So back to the mess hall you go.
It's still
to the galley,
into his mechanics equipment. It's
yeah.
So Sorbo's like kind of there with his headlamp on and like
still has everything on.
Everything on his scanners on. Like, all right, he just ran off to get you. It glowed.
I mean, he's definitely interested in looking into this thing while it is glowing to see if like anything shifts or changes inside of it.
Okay,
but only from a purely technical standpoint. He's not like there's no inspiration there so much as it is like, oh yeah, this is another thing the puzzle can do. Let's look at that.
Right.
So the thing I got was that the crystal is its power source, but a stand-in for something, right?
It's somehow a stand-in. It's almost metaphorical. Like this is an object of, in a way, you think this is not just a thing. It's an object of art. Like the crystal means something. so much as that it is a metaphorical stand-in.
That's what he's talking about when he comes back in and sort of about, yeah, it's got power to it, but it's not what it's actually supposed to represent.
All right.
Is it still glowing?
It's not glowing now because he's no longer touching it.
Well, that's all right. Let's touch it.
All right. So I'm going to need both of you to roll perceptions, but this time you have 2 difficulty. Or no, pardon me, still 3 difficulty, but you get 1 blue boost die.
Okay.
So, what did you say?
So-
Two or three purples?
So 3 purple, 1 light blue.
And 1 light blue.
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
Nice.
All right, Zag is even more
Damn.
enthusiastic, but my word, the 2 of you
We
working
are
together
rolling
is
amazing
excellent.
tonight.
Yeah, no, you're doing
Yeah.
very well. Very well. All right. So you touch it, and you both touch it on either side of it, and you reach out with the force. And gradually something, it kind of shudders a little bit, and then something begins to happen. And gradually the spheres rise up, and the crystal glows broadly enough that you actually see kind of rays coming out from it in all directions.
Record this, Sorbo.
And the spheres begin to move and circle. And at some point, one of the spheres kind of shoots off as if into space, like it's thrown out of the system.
Huh.
And then the whole thing kind of returns to its original state and then repeats the cycle.
Wow.
The configuration that you see when this thing is active is not the same spacing and placement as it when it's inactive. It kind of grows. So that immediately, like it looks different when they're actually moving.
Yeah.
Lena was the one who knew star systems. Maybe she
Mhm.
should take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be like a real quick comms message of like, come to the mess hall.
Okay.
You know, if nothing else.
Ooh, is it dinner time?
Sure. I mean, anytime could be dinner time if you
It
want.
could be, yeah. So
So actually, before she actually gets there,
Lena gets there. Where's dinner? Tom's like hands her like a power bar.
So before she gets there, actually, I think once she had downtime, what Lena would be doing, we had a ballpark on how old this thing is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's gonna try, because she's got like she couldn't find a star system that matched the thing when it was not active,
Mm-hmm.
but she's been looking at it, and she's gonna try to estimate like changes that could have happened to star systems from the period of time, and like she's not likely to get anywhere with this because she doesn't have the actual map.
Mm-hmm.
She just would have been spending this time looking at different systems that might be similar, and like
Fair.
so
Fair.
whatever you do
So,
with that.
Okay, so that's good. So that might be a boost. That might be an advantage somewhere. So a good point. So you get there and you see the cycle, and you see Bobkin and Zag have their hands on the thing, and it's lit up like this, and so that the spheres are swirling around. This will allow you another astrogation roll. It is. I'm going to say that it's now that it's open. This is going to be tough to really pin it down. I'm going to have to say it's 4 purple dice, but I'm going to give you 1 boost die for the work you've been doing. It's
Anybody
astrogation.
care if I use one of our light side points on this
I
one?
encourage it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do it.
Remind me what I need to do for a light side.
We did well.
A little weird, right?
It gives you another success. You just put it into
Okay, we'll just assume another success.
Nice.
Good thing you
That's
did.
good. Yeah, it's a good thing you did. So, okay, boy, you guys are also turning up some threats here, which is interesting.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say the threats are in the form of Zag and Bobkin. You both take 2 strain. That this is not trivial to do this. That you're whether it's because you're sort of well, in Zag's case, you don't really know how to use the Force, and Bobkin, your use of the Force is kind of buried. That it actually puts a strain on you to do it. But that's so you all see them, and Lena, you have to like hold it, and so basically so they basically have to take more strain to do it.
Wait,
Like
do it one more time. One more. I just
this
can you again?
This
Rewind.
This isn't trivial.
Doesn't do rewind. It doesn't do the, yeah.
No, but just like a little bit.
Zoom in, enhance.
So here's what you find out. You've seen this kind of thing. Well, pardon me. You've heard about this kind of thing before, Lena. Because you can't find a system, and then you were thinking about like, well, what about the effect over time? And if this was a collision, would it have an effect on the surrounding systems? It's sort of gravitational map, and how like if there was a system like here that looked like this and this happened, what would that look like? And it was not easy. And you run into some possibilities, and then you hit a what astrogators would call don't look here problem, which means the astrogation data has been there's like a couple possibilities where this could be, but the astrogation data is redacted. That essentially the modern databases that you have you're not going to be able to track down this system. You would need something older.
Okay, so let's say you were like reading somebody's journal and like there's some good stuff in there and you feel like you're getting a good like feel for who this person is. And then you get to a part that the pages are torn out. Would you assume that's where like the good stuff is?
Yeah, I'd take a pencil to the pages after it. Start rubbing over it.
Yeah, like I don't know how to take a pencil to a database, but I got some missing pages right around probably whatever that is.
Well, do you know who redacted it?
Can I
Are
tell
these?
you?
I mean, are these Imperial Authority maps or what?
All astrogation databases
Mm-hmm.
that are publicly available have to go through Imperial authorities.
Okay. Would there be anybody else who has older star charts?
The Jedi.
But I mean, there's got to be like a Merchants Guild or somebody who would have older records from before. I mean, the Empire hasn't been around that long.
There may be some people, if you ask in the right places, who may have some sources on some older star charts. This will require going to a shadow port, the kind of place where you can find people who know things, and asking around. This, I believe, would be Underworld or like we said last time, Underworld and Streetwise are like.
I have Streetwise.
I would take an Underworld or a Streetwise roll for this, or an Outer Rim.
Streetwise, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I need to make that of that.
Or an Outer Rim roll. Regardless of the roll that you do, it's going to be a difficulty of 3.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, you got it.
Can I use as like I have Outer Rim? Can I assist on this?
I fucked up a lot.
Yeah, you did.
You said 3, right?
Yeah, so 3 purple dice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Tom doesn't have. Oh, okay, fair. I was gonna say you don't have any of your dice in there. But...
Yeah. Oof, that wasn't well.
They're looking great, guys. Zach's trying to redeem us, but it's not going.
Yeah,
luckily, there's only so much damage you can do on rolls like this.
Oh wait, I didn't roll the stupid difficulty. I'm sorry. Let me do that part too.
I was going to say, holy crap.
Yeah, it's easy.
All right, there you go. I still succeeded with 2 advantage.
Okay. Well, and Zag got a triumph.
Yeah.
Zag got a triumph. Zag?
Lena, do you want in on this?
Oh, no, I don't do that part.
Okay.
I'm
Zag,
interested in reading the book if you can find one, though.
I'm gonna say that Zag, I think you definitely have a line on someone who might have something older, or might have access to that information. Now, getting them to work with you might be a trick, because it's actually someplace that you and Bobkin were briefly.
Oh,
There's
okay.
there's a planet that's you couldn't find any work there when you were there, but there's a planet called Batu. And on Batu, there is a collector of rare antiquities who may very well have access, who also, by the way, dabbles in crime.
Yeah.
Who may actually have a line on this kind of information. He tends to be very particular about the people he works with and who he lets into his circle of trust. But it's a good possibility.
Yeah, that's what we got Lena for.
What? I'm just cute. I'm actually not.
Yes,
They-
that's going to be towards our advantage.
It really
I
is.
hope-
I don't think I even put anything to any of her like charisma based or whatever the personality one is.
It's no,
It's
there isn't no
Let me
presence.
talk to the guy. Sure, he's reasonable.
Like,
Well, I've got an idea at least.
So indeed, that is the possibility that is hanging out there. That there's a fellow named Doc Ondar, who operates out of Batu, who may actually have some information that's old enough to make it make this make sense. All right. So if with that in mind, I think we're going. Yeah. So everyone agreed you will go to Batu next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Makes sense.
Is there anything else you want to do on this planet before you depart?
I think we've done everything this planet has to offer.
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
We had the pancakes. We went to a sporting event. Like,
There's
what
still
else
there's
is there?
still 4 games left in the.
Also, we haven't done the corn maze yet. So
That's true. You haven't done the corn maze. It's true.
let's set up the bounty hunter to the corn
You-
maze. He can tell us about it.
You haven't gone bantha tipping even once.
I do want to show Lodic and the captain what the thing did, if possible, if they weren't there.
They are dumbfounded. They're dumbfounded. Well,
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're on this ship, says Lodic, because that was never going to happen, no matter how often we tried that.
You know, the part I find interesting is the little rogue planet flying off at the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, that one's weird.
Yeah.
Did you actually find any situations where that kind of thing would happen, where a planet just like completely poofed off of its orbit?
Well, this is something that you hinted at last time, where basically you said that the system was unstable.
Oh, right. That was the thing that she could figure out.
Right, and although the planetary configuration was different when it opened up, that is still apparently was true. It was similar enough that the planet was ejected. Maybe not in quite the way you would have expected. It didn't blow up. It didn't like hit another planet, but it was ejected from its orbit. At least that's what it looks like. Into either out of the system or into a very, very big orbit.
It's kind of what happens if the system's not stable and gets a little wobbly and then poof.
Yeah. So with that, I believe if you say that if you're ready to go, we will say that you drop off Yadagushi, Sorbo. You
It's a no hard feelings, like chuck on the shoulder, like, yeah, maybe you'll catch us next time. Who knows? He gets bus fare, he gets the season tickets, and he gets the name of the place that we bought the pancakes from.
yes. He kind of just seems to be. He kind of is astounded that you're letting him go, and is happy to make it out. It seems he's happy to make it out alive.
Fair.
That's the feeling you get from him. And before we go, I will leave you with this, because we always leave things on cliffhangers. You all receive a message,
Oh.
and the message is in the form of a holo. And the holo is from Greetings. My name is Prince Darrow Kron, second born of King Robir Kron the 23rd. I come to you with a proposition, a very lucrative offer for your assistance in recovering a stolen object from an individual who I believe you have already met. I am willing to offer 20,000 credits for the recovery of this object, with an optional fee to be negotiated later for the location and whereabouts of the criminal who is now going by the name of Andro Madar. I don't know exactly what he's told you, but you can be fairly certain that it's a lie. And I would really love the opportunity to communicate with you and clear this whole thing up. I'm not looking to kill him. I'm not looking to hurt anyone. I just want what was stolen from my family and for the thieves to come to justice. Please consider my generous offer and contact me at this comlink ID. Thank you. That's the message.
Zach just turns it off and is just like, no, what?
Well,
Is that
I mean,
as a prince?
you know, if this star chart thing comes through and we identify where we're going, we don't actually need this thing anymore. There's nothing saying we can't make 20,000 credits off it after we don't need it.
Point of order.
Mhm.
Andro has at least 10,000 credits.
Yeah, but that's half of.
Well, we don't have to give Andro.
But it's someone we already have a business relationship.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying we give up Andro. He
Yeah.
said 20,000 for the thing,
He's
plus
saying please,
an
the brother.
additional amount to be negotiated for the recovery of the of the thieves. We just didn't manage to recover the thieves, but if we do manage to recover stolen property, it's 20,000 credits. I mean, that's if the star chart thing comes through.
Yeah. We can table that for after we've looted whatever treasury this is pointing to.
So there you go. So that, I believe, is where we shall leave it.
Excellent.
And there's a number of things that we will do. This is actually another pretty good session. I'm going to say 15 character points will be awarded to all.
Cool.
Nice.
And you
nice.
can spend that as you wish, which we will do in the time after we are finished with our stream. So thanks for those who dropped in, and thanks for those of you who watched the recording on YouTube, and we will be back again. Please check us out on Twitch or Twitter for the next scheduled episode. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Mm.